I'm Doug Brown. Negotiations continue between the NBA and the Players Association. They face a midnight Eastern deadline to reach a new basic agreement, or either side could opt out of the current deal after this season is over. Big weekend for college basketball, and it tips off tonight with the women's Final Four in Dallas. Our semifinal coverage starts at 7 Eastern on ESPN with Virginia Tech and LSU, followed by Iowa and South Carolina. The men's Final Four starts tomorrow in Houston. ESPN's Seth Greenberg.
Connecticut is the most complete team. They've got to go out and take a national championship by getting it done on the court, by basically staying true to their habits and their identity. They are the hardest playing, toughest team in a lot of ways in the country, and I believe they'll end up cutting down the nets.
Seth Greenberg on Get Up. An MRI on Timberwolves center Naz Reid shows a fractured left wrist. He'll be out indefinitely after getting hurt against the Suns Wednesday night. Cardinals catcher Wilson Contreras will have more testing on his right knee. An MRI came back clean.
When you're trying to hire and fill open jobs, the searching, screening, and interviewing can become its own job. You need Indeed, their powerful hiring platform that makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We are live at Hogs for the Cause, right on the lakefront in the Crescent City. I am fired freaking up to be here, repping Morton Anderson's Mullets, greatest team name ever. And I'm fired up to be here, man. We're going to talk a lot today about this event. We're going to talk a lot about the people here, why they're here, a lot about the food they're cooking, and the good times that we're going to have that hopefully you all will be able to join at some point today or tomorrow. But, boy, we got a lot to delve into, and we're going to get right to it. LSU-Tennessee, of course you know, Tigers win Game 1 of the most anticipated regular season series we've had at the box in, holy moly, a long time. And last night was a pitching matchup, as we talked about ad nauseum for months leading up to the season and during this season with Skenes and Dolander, and boy, did it deliver. But it was Mr. Clutch himself, Jordan Thompson, tie game, bottom 8, who came through with a bases-clearing double.
That ball's going to drop. Gedry scores. Kling scores. Here comes Pearson, a bases-clearing double for Jordan Thompson.
I don't hear it. FYI. All right, I don't know if you're playing it, but I'm just going to keep rolling it in because I don't hear the double, and I'm assuming that it didn't play. But if it did, cool. Anyway, Jordan Thompson, a bases-clearing double in the 8th. A guy who has made a living during his career of coming through in huge moments just like that. And what a moment it was for Jordan Thompson and LSU to take Game 1. It would have been awful. Awful. Gutting if LSU had blown yet another dominant performance from Paul Skenes the way they did a week ago, where he delivered 7 innings of 1 run, 12 strikeout baseball against Arkansas, and you lose late in the game because your bullpen couldn't hold it. In this instance, LSU's offense did what they needed to do, and Garrett Edwards at the end did what he needed to do. And the Tigers end up winning Game 1 5-2. This game had an awful lot. I'd be remiss if we didn't start by talking about Paul Skenes. The superlatives are mounting, sort of running out of adjectives to use, similar with Dylan Cruz as it is with Paul Skenes. You heard last night on the broadcast, if you were watching on television, Kyle Peterson and Ben McDonald and Dave Neal talk about the amount of pitches that Paul Skenes threw in excess of 100 miles an hour. I believe there were 24 last night. There are only 3 pitchers in Major League Baseball who accomplished that feat in an outing a year ago. He is a big leaguer playing college baseball. Paul Skenes is like when Danny Almonte was 17 years old and was just blowing away 12-year-olds in the Little League World Series. Like, that's what Paul Skenes is doing to the best conference in college baseball right now. It's absolutely child's play, and it is so fun to watch. And you're thrilled that that he's on your side. The Tennessee broke through first with the first run of the game when they got it in the 5th after a couple of singles, and then of course the go-ahead for Tennessee after Dickey singled to lead off the inning on the chopper to Jordan Thompson that he couldn't handle. Ensley singled to right, so you had first and second. Flyout advanced the runner to third. Skenes comes back, he gets the strikeout, and then Scott singled up the middle to get the first run of the game for Tennessee. But LSU responded. They responded as this team has done so much this year. Thompson led off the bottom of the 5th with a double. Neal struck out, then Gavin Dugas with the moonshot, which was literally he literally hit the ball out of sight. If you were watching it on television, and it sounded like even the broadcasters lost sight of the baseball. That's how high and far he hit that baseball. But, you can't help but think about a guy like Gavin Dugas who literally had to earn his roster spot this year. A guy like Garrett Edwards, who the win in the game last night, literally had to earn his roster spot this year on such a talented team. A team where, we thought probably Gavin Guidry was ultimately going to emerge as the starting second baseman on this team, but Gavin Dugas, man, just every time they throw a challenger at him, he kept throwing him out the boat, man. And what a night, what a moment for Gavin Dugas to hit the go-ahead homer to put the Tigers up 2-0. The 7th was so impressive by Paul Skenes, to get a 3-up, 3-down inning, to strike out Merrick on 3 pitches to end the 7th inning, and his night was just an incredible roar. It had all the makings of a high-stakes baseball game, a regional atmosphere, all the cliches that we've all said, but we've all said them because they're true, and it was last night, and last night delivered. And we talk about it that so often when you hype something, it just so seldom actually lives up to the billing. Well, last night did. You had 2 guys that are going to be top 5 picks, probably the top 2 collegiate pitchers taken, going head-to-head. LSU was able to chase they were able to knock Chase Dolander out of the game in the 5th inning. God bless Tony Vitello. Well, I shouldn't say that because that's not going to sit well with LSU fans. He had a tough decision to make, and ultimately he went to Halverson to face Tommy White with 2 outs in the 5th and to try to minimize the damage and not let the game get out of hand. And Halverson got Tommy White to ground out in the 5th, but in the end, Vitello made another calculated risk in riding Halverson the rest of the way, and ultimately LSU broke through against him in the 8th, and now the best reliever for Tennessee is likely done for the weekend. He threw over 50 pitches last night, so it's hard to imagine them going back to Halverson. It would not be available today after throwing 52 pitches last night. Conceivably, if you needed him for a short outing on Sunday, maybe he could do that, but Tony Vitello used 2 really good bullets yesterday, and Dolander obviously and Halverson, and took the L in so doing. So the Tigers come through with the big moment in the 8th. We know after Tennessee had evened it up in the top of the 8th with Ackenhausen, sort of the hamstring acting up a little bit, and Garrett Edwards coming through in a really tough spot, man. He enters mid-count, 3-2 with a runner on third base, and he gives up the base hit up the middle on the slider. But they turned the order over to the top of the lineup, and he bared down and got out of it in a tie ball game, and then LSU delivered in the 8th, and Edwards went out there and got the 3 outs in the 9th to preserve the win. So LSU 5-2. They're a winner in game 1 of this series against Tennessee, and now you go into the next 2 days knowing you just got to get one. You just got to get one over the next 2 days to take this series and just keep on trucking along. 13,068 watched it at Alec Box Stadium last night, and if there's one sort of, I don't want to say regret, but one thing that maybe gave you the uneasy feeling, it was the amount of missed opportunities early in that game for LSU. In 4 of the first 5 innings, LSU got the leadoff man on. I mean, Gavin Dugas belted the first pitch of the game for a double. Remember, Chase Dolander had walked 8 guys all year. He walks Trey Morgan, so you got first and second, nobody out. Then Cruz flies out. Tommy White flies out. Beloso flies out. Everybody hit the ball hard. Even Morgan, who walked. A foul ball down the left field line he hit. He smoked that baseball. So they were seeing Dolander. He exited the game with just 1 strikeout, which for a guy that is that gifted and that talented, came into this series with 53 strikeouts and 34 innings pitched, averaging more than a strikeout per innings pitched. For LSU to see him, to hit him the way they did was, it was encouraging. One of the things we've talked about with this team quite a bit has been the amount of swing and miss, the amount of strikeouts. We saw it last Friday in Game 1 against Arkansas. But the Tigers were able to put the ball in play, and they were impressive. Forgive me, Dolander finished the night with 3 strikeouts. But he didn't get his first until he struck out Jones in the 4th. So it was a heck of a night at the box. More than 13,000 people, a record crowd at Alec Box Stadium. And the great thing about baseball is, you know what? As fun as that was, you get to do it all again tonight. So we are less than 3 hours away from first pitch. 6 o'clock at the box, Game 2, LSU against Tennessee. It'll be Burns against Floyd on the bump, and we'll see if these bats can get going and if Jay Johnson tinkers with the lineup any. But what a night for the Tigers, but still work to do. Got to get one of these next 2 to take this series. All right, it is After Further Review. We are at Hogs for the Cause in New Orleans, and I am fired up to be here, man. It's so easy if you know where UNO is, if you're coming to the lakefront. If you're coming in from Baton Rouge on I-10, you take 610. You follow the signs to UNO. I mean, you're basically at the lake, or at the lake. I mean, we're at the lakefront, and trust me, you cannot miss this setup here at Hogs for the Cause. And one of the awesome things about it, man, is all the money they raise for Hogs for the Cause going to great, obviously benefit children all over the country. There's a Hogs house being built at Our Lady of the Lake in Baton Rouge, which offers free housing for families who have children admitted to the hospital. And something that many of you know, my family and I lived through, 9 months in Houston, away from home in a hospital every day looking at our son, and we didn't have a Hogs house as an option. But thanks to the work that so many of these people are doing here, that's going to be an option for so many people. So anyway, great event, man. Just come have some fun if you can here at Hogs for the Cause. If not, you can donate online. We'll make sure we drop the links in the Bayou Forward YouTube chat, Twitter, and all that stuff as well. Okay, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out our first break of the show. We're brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. When we come back, Michael Cauble will join us from Dallas, and we'll preview the Final Four, women's Final Four tonight from Dallas, LSU, Virginia Tech. We'll get to that when we return here on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Darren James & Associates, brokered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. You know where to find them, agent225.com, agent225.com. Maybe the biggest compliment that I can pay Darren James, and I talk all the time about the number of homes he sells, and the Wall Street Journal lists the top 1% of realtors in America, and all the awards and accolades he's won, and how he speaks at all these national conferences and real estate conventions and everything because he's so great at what he does. But one of the biggest things about selling your home that consistently is feedback that comes from buyers or sellers is the stress. It is a stressful experience to buy or sell a home and to move. The biggest compliment I can pay Darren is he recognizes that. His processes are so good that he eliminates the stress and actually makes buying or selling a home a pleasant experience. If you need that when you're buying or selling, you need Darren James. 335-7666 or agent225.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Theriot with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Theriot and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Baton Rouge, Alexandria.
We're going to connect with Michael Cauble, who is covering the LSU women's basketball team as the women's Final Four will get underway tonight in Dallas, 6 o'clock. You'll have LSU-Tennessee Game 2 at 6, LSU-Virginia Tech women's Final Four at 6 o'clock. So we'll be split screening things tonight. We'll be multiple devicing things tonight. The LSU women's team is a 2-point favorite over Virginia Tech in that basketball game tonight. And trying to head up to Dallas, see if we can get a little scene setter from Cauble. If in fact the LSU women's basketball team can find a way to pull out a win here against Virginia Tech and move on to a championship game and a possible rematch with South Carolina. Again, the thing that for LSU is going to be critical tonight is how they handle Virginia Tech's size. How does Angel Reese handle Virginia Tech's size on the interior? We know that LSU certainly struggled against Utah in that situation, so big opportunity tonight. All right, let's head to Dallas. We do have Michael Cauble from WBRZ who's good enough to join us. Cobbs, we appreciate it, man. How are you?
Doing well. Just in the arena, they're doing mic checks. They got tap dancers going tonight. Give you a lay of the land.
Yeah,
what to expect.
I love it, man. Hey, give me an idea. Look, so we know women's Final Four is in American Airlines Center, so it's where the Mavericks play. They don't play this in a big football stadium. But give me a little bit of a scene setter on what it's like and what it's been like there in Dallas the past couple days.
Well, as you would expect, a lot more women's college basketball fans here. South Carolina really traveling well. LSU traveling well, Skenes, Iowa, and Virginia Tech traveling well as well. Let's give everybody a little shout out. But yeah, this arena is made for this. Not a bad seat in the house. You know, they got it all decked out. Really doing a good job, I think, of trying to equalize the atmosphere for both of the games, if you know what I mean. So excited to see what these teams can do. You get some of the best talent, right? in the country in this Final Four, and certainly that makes sense. But when you think about the individual talent, the stars, really they are here in this one. So it's exciting. I know that it's going to be a long night, right? Their game doesn't tip until after LSU finishes. So be a long night for the fans, but I think anybody that's here is excited to be here. And it's a bit of a tough ticket. We've talked about that as well. Anywhere from $280 to $325 a ticket.
Hey, man, it does create the demand, right? You're playing it in a 17, 18,000 seat arena. It's going to be able to create the demand as opposed to like playing in a football stadium where there's 60, 70,000 seats available. So can you ballpark like LSU fans? I mean, Dallas is an LSU hub. It's not far from Houston as well. I mean, LSU fans know how to get there. So what kind of LSU presence is there?
It's hard to tell because the people that travel with the team have done it for so long. So it's hard to tell right now. I was over at the team hotel, and certainly it was packed with LSU fans, but I don't know who's not staying there, right? So it's too early. No one's they're kind of circling around the arena, but nothing like it will be in a couple of hours as we get inch closer to tip off in this one. So I don't know, Matt. I'd be speculating.
Sure. Takeaways from Kim Mulkey, aside from wearing a cowboy hat, takeaways from Kim Mulkey's media availability earlier this week?
I think the thing that's most interesting to me now is just the confidence that maybe the LSU players are exuding and really kind of pushing back, right? Every question that we asked about Virginia Tech, it felt like there was some pushback, like, yeah, they're good, but so are we. So what I'm taking from that is just a confidence and maybe a chip on the shoulder kind of mentality of like, yeah, everybody thinks that we're cute and we're social media stars, but we've actually got some basketball to our game as well. And I think that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting off of the team. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out and play. When you play like that, there's a chance that you can play out of control. So LSU certainly is in foul, has been in foul trouble recently. I'll be interested to see how much they're able to play with that chip, but also under control.
Michael Cauble's with us. He's on Twitter at Cauble, Cauble. He's there in Dallas at the Women's Final Four. Specifically on the floor and matchups, it looks like Virginia Tech's size would be the thing that LSU's got to be most aware of. What did Kim Mulkey, the players, have to say about dealing with Virginia Tech's size?
Yeah, I don't know that it's going to be an Angel versus Liz Kitley, show, right? LaDeja's done a good job of often matching up. Samaya Smith has come in just recently and played some minutes. I think foul trouble will be the key to this one. Who can stay out of it? Who can play a clean sheet? Kitley is got the advantage in that regard, but don't sleep on Georgia Amore. I think she's the straw that stirs the drink for them. She gets everybody going. An inside-out game, a true inside-out game. She can hit from anywhere. She's the third best, three-point shooter in the country. Knocked down 114, only behind Caitlin Clark and Mike Bell, the girl that LSU saw last year in Ohio State. So, they got some real scoring threats in those two, and those two play together very well, play off one another very well. So it's going to be another one of those deals where you can't get caught helping inside because you can get beat outside. LSU definitely has their hands full with defending this team. I don't know how much off of those two are real scoring threats, though. So Kim had talked about kind of, look, you're not going to stop great players. Georgia's a great player. You just want to kind of help contain those that are around her kind of deal. So I think it's going to be the guard matchup and, of course, the post matchup. But they present a real challenge, a 1-2 punch that LSU will have to defend and get creative in their usage of players and minutes.
Hey, Cobbs, look, you've covered LSU for a long time, and you were obviously covering LSU during the 5 straight runs to the Women's Final Four, and we all know the story. LSU never won a game in a Final Four. They were 0-for-5. What would a win tonight mean for this program?
It's on the fast track. If you play in the national finals in Kim Mulkey's second year, then, it just validates everything that you ever thought about her as a coach. This team should be here. It's such an anomaly. You cue the music, right? The Island of the Misfit Toys. You love to talk about it, but that's what this team is. They went out and got girls from other teams. They put it together. They shouldn't be this good this soon. And when you think about the way they're doing it, yeah, they got a hell of a lot of rebounding down low. But what else do they have? They just made a defensive substitution here in the postseason that's kind of been a difference maker. But other than that, they had a shooter that couldn't really knock down shots consistently. They had a freshman, that's SEC Freshman of the Year, playing out of her shoes. They've got a 4-time transfer point guard who's playing with a chip on her shoulder as big as this state. They got Angel Reese obviously is a star in the making. And then they got LaDasia Williams, a girl who never talks but just brings her lunch pail to work every day. So it's Kim's ability to kind of meld that into something that I think is remarkable. A victory tonight just validates that, and then everybody wants to be. I think that's when you'll be able to really pick and choose out of the portal, but you're going to get. They got a great incoming class next year. I think it's just going to be kind of like that from here on out. And boy, is that interesting in the SEC then, right?
I know you don't do a ton of sports betting, so I'm not going to ask you necessarily a gambling question per se. But LSU is a 1.5 favorite in this game. Should they be favored?
I don't think so. I think it's action. I mean, like they open up against Miami like a 12-point favorite or 16-point favorite. I think Vegas is looking for action. I think they know that LSU is a name brand, like a public team, and that they're going to get that. So I think they're just trying to move a little bit of the money.
Okay.
No, I would not think LSU would be favored in this game. I don't have a great feeling about this game. I really don't. But I didn't have a great feeling against Miami because I thought they were a scrappy, kind of more tenacious team than LSU. LSU is just finding a way to get it done, right? It's not pretty, but it is gritty and gutsy. And maybe that chip that we're talking about, is what's carrying them through. They're going to run up against a good, talented team tonight, though.
How are the tulips in downtown Dallas these days?
I tell you what, it's windy as hell down here. My hotel is really leaving a lot to be desired. I'm not sure if I saw a bed bug on the window today or not, but there will be a sternly worded Karen letter going to this hotel after this day. And the problem is, man, everything else is booked out. Like I was trying to change, but everything's booked out. So I was like, ugh.
Everything in Dallas is booked. Like all of the hotels in Dallas.
No, but you gotta get the point, man. I mean, you gotta stay where you get the point.
No, I'm with you. I'm just curious, like who your points are through now. If it's this unsettling, I mean, you don't have to say if you don't want to out them, but
oh no, it's Marriott. It's the Courtyard Marriott. I'll tell you right now. Don't stay at the Spring Hill Suites Marriott. Excuse me, downtown. I mean, I'm blocked from Dealey Plaza, and I kind of feel like I'm I need to be looking for somebody shooting me. It's not the world's best locale.
Are you doing any sightseeing?
No. Rabs and I went to dinner last night. Went to Capitol Grill. Had a lovely steak. Then we walked back to our hotel a couple of miles, which was nice. But went to Deep Ellum today. Got a little barbecue.
Okay.
So, but I have not seen any flowers.
Okay. Any drifters? You said drifters in Greenville were a problem.
No, Greenville was actually all right.
Oh, there were no drifters.
Here,
that's right.
Yeah, there were no drifters.
Yeah. Got it.
Here, there are tons. There are plenty.
Yes, it's a major metropolitan area there, Cobbs.
It happens. What are you doing? You're doing barbecue? Hogs for the cause?
Hogs for the cause. Have you ever been to this thing?
I have not. I need to get down there.
Wow, man. Mincy is the one who twisted my arm and was like, bro, you got to get down there. Would love you to do your show down here. And I'm like, yeah, Mincy, let me check it out. Whatever. So thanks. Shout out Bo Wegman, who, took the onus upon himself to just make sure that we had a setup and all this good stuff. And I'm going to tell you, dude, this thing is way grander a thing than I knew about. I mean, this is like a shrunken down jazz fest. I mean,
really?
It's a big old thing. Now it's all like pigs and all like double entendre with pigs and everything like that. But and pig puns and whatnot. Like, I'm trying to see if we find any Hogdat Nation behind us. I can't see some of them. Anyway, let's see.
What about Hey, Dad, I think he's in a Porker. Is that a team name?
Hey, no, I don't think so. Cobbs, great. Okay. Before you get us with an FCC violation, I'm going to let you go. So, bed bugs and sex jokes. That's Michael Cauble covering the women's Final Four in Dallas. Thank you, Cauble.
That was meat. That was a meat reference, Matt. All right, take care.
Okay, got it. Yeah, for sure. That's Michael Cauble. You can hang up on him now. Bo, hang up that or just let him hang up on us. Either way, we're good. We're here. It's all good. We're here. We are here at Hogs for the Cause. By the way, we're here. So the team we're here, who are kind enough that Mincy's partnered with, and all these guys, who are Morton Anderson's Mullets. Love it. I want to get a picture of this logo. But we may flip the camera at some point just to show the logo. Or I'll take a picture of the logo and I'll tweet it. That's what I'll do. I'll put it out there. Anyway, Morton Anderson's Mullets, awesome team name. Are you freaking kidding me? I love it. It's a pig with a mullet and a Morton Anderson jersey kicking a ball. I love it. Love it. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break, y'all. We'll come back, do a little around the SEC, kind of get you caught up on action from around the Southeastern Conference. And baseball last night, of course, 2 SEC teams participating in the Women's Final Four tonight with LSU and South Carolina. We'll get to all that. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Renaissance Hotel in Southtown Baton Rouge. Tell you all the time, Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Watermark is Baton Rouge's original high-rise building. It was the Louisiana National Bank building. And the Watermark downtown has preserved so much of the history of that building, so much of the marble and the stone and a lot of the vault doors from when it was a bank. You can see a lot of that infrastructure, all of that's still there, which is phenomenal to see. It's like walking into a time capsule. And, of course, the Renaissance on Bluebonnet right near I-10. So it's easy access to I-10. It's gorgeous. When you go to the top of the Renaissance Hotel, it's the best views of the entire city of Baton Rouge. I've been up there. It's magnificent. But, man, so many great amenities at the Renaissance as well. Let me remind you about Tallulah, the restaurant in the Renaissance Hotel. Great bar as well. If you're you pop into Tallulah, have a bite to eat, have a cocktail, enjoy the terrace. It's Tallulah inside the Renaissance Hotel.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hey, it's Matt Musso. Join me Monday through Friday for your daily update on LSU baseball with Musso at the Box, presented by New Orleans Flooring. Wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, and check out New Orleans Flooring. 2 locations, Metairie and Prairieville, or NOLAFlooring.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off new 2022 Jeep Gladiators and $8,000 off new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokees. All new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TD to 52886.
Purchase your tracks today.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
It's just special. I mean, it's 107 pitches, and this is the third outing in a row where he's been right around that 100 mark, and the last pitch is as impressive as the first pitch.
Yeah.
And, man, he just didn't give them anything. I mean, they're a good offensive team. They take really good aggressive swings. I thought they battled him and competed him, so hat tip to the Tennessee offense, but he just, I mean, he didn't give them anything.
Jay Johnson on Paul Skenes' fourth outing, fifth consecutive outing where we've seen, seventh consecutive outing where we've seen double-digit strikeouts, which is what? I mean, it's so stupid. Like, we say that just so flippantly, like, no, but just double-digit strikeouts. I mean, Paul Skenes is he is the best arm ever at LSU. And I'm going to ask Theriot about this when he's with us for a couple of segments in hour two. But the only just strictly arm talent. I'm not talking about career. I'm not talking about prospect. I'm not talking about all this stuff. I'm talking arm talent. He is the best arm talent ever at LSU. Ben McDonald carried that torch forever, and Ben pitched at LSU for 3 years and was the number one overall pick and all that stuff that I understand. Paul Skenes is doing things right now that major leaguers don't do. I mean, holding velocity, you're sitting 98, 99 in the seventh inning it's insane. And, you know, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about Skenes here on the show because I'd mentioned this. And, I mean, look, we've gotten to see Skenes, obviously, so we're a little more locked and dialed into it. But, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I'd mentioned on the show that there was that I talked to a buddy who's a scout who kind of said, look, man, the Pirates had the first pick, and they're really hoping that the Pirates take Dylan Cruz because the Nationals want Paul Skenes, number 2. And the reason behind it, obviously, is they believe today Paul Skenes would be a front-of-the-rotation guy today. And if that's the case, then you get 6 years, talk about arbitration and everything, out of Paul Skenes before you'd have to break him off with a, six-figure contract or whatever it would be, or you trade him for assets. And so they see tremendous value in that. So Paul Skenes isn't going to get past number 2 at the Nationals. But what's fascinating now is, Jay Johnson, before the season started, was talking about Paul Skenes as a potential 1-1 guy, first pick, first round, 1-1 guy. And we heard it, but so many of us just thought of Paul Skenes a year ago at Air Force and didn't fully understand what we were seeing in the development from Paul Skenes, or what we were going to see as far as the development from Paul Skenes year to year. And it's funny because I just in the break did a Google search, and I just Google searched Paul Skenes under the Google News search. And he ain't nobody's secret no more, y'all. I mean, everybody at every publication, from Baseball America to the Washington Post, are at D1 Baseball and 247 Sports, you name it. I mean, everybody is writing about Paul Skenes now. Because whenever you start doing what Paul Skenes is doing consistently, it's impossible to ignore. That becomes a major national story in the way that we haven't seen since Steven Strasburg. That's the comp I would give you. I saw Mark Pryor pitch at USC, and I know Kyle Peterson mentioned this. I almost said Todd Peterson. Todd Peterson.
Ted Peterson.
Todd Peterson. I'm just dropping Todd Petersons left and right now. Kyle Peterson mentioned on the broadcast, said, look, it's Mark Pryor and Steven Strasburg. And look, I saw Pryor pitch. It was at the World Series in 2000 when LSU beat Mark Pryor from USC. But Strasburg is certainly the comp and the name that comes to mind. It's been about a decade. It was 2010, 2009, 2010, when Strasburg was popping off, and of course at San Diego State was throwing 100, and he fascinated everybody, became the first overall pick, and after making a couple of minor league starts was in the show. I mean, that's Paul Skenes. Like, he is going to be next season he will be starting as a rookie in Major League Baseball. Maybe not opening day, but it won't be long before Paul Skenes is in a big league rotation. He is just, it's incredible. I mean, we knew that you see the fastball there, the sliders, undeniable. He's got the changeup and even threw a curveball last night. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's throwing 4 pitches. It's just unfair. It's unfair for college hitters, and it's going to be really hard for professional hitters next year. So enjoy him. You are watching literally the best arm talent that has ever pitched at LSU. And here's hoping he's pitching to the end of June. All right, it's After Further Review brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020. Or WilliamsonEye.com. I'm sitting here at Hogs for the Cause with this big, giant open field right on the lakefront. We're, a few hundred yards away from, 500 yards away maybe from UNO Lakefront Arena. But I can see every sign all across. I even see that ugly Mississippi State flag. Shout out, Ribs. All over. Just like at a festival, you can see them all. Perfect 2020 vision. No matter if you're a professional athlete like Devin White or Caleb Von Chasson, or if you're, just someone like me who's never been able to see without contacts or glasses, the Williamson Eye Center can help. Call 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. Okay, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions.
All right, let's get into it here. Baseball last night. We know that LSU beat Tennessee in Game 1. What is this? What is this? Is this the Wagyu beef? Oh, my God. Forget around the SEC. I'm going to eat this Wagyu. Are you kidding me? He gave me another one. Oh, look at that. I got to get my guy over here to tell me about this Wagyu beef we're about to eat. I'll get him back. Well, he's going to walk back this way. I'm going to get him. All right. South Carolina off to a record start, a program best 7-0 in the SEC, dropping Mississippi State to 0-7 in the league last night. 3 hits, 2 RBIs for Dylan Brewer. Number 9, South Carolina beats Mississippi State to record their first 7-0 start in SEC history. The Bulldogs in the cellar, wearing the collar. The Bulldogs wearing the collar. Get it? The Bulldogs for their dogs named Dog. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Full slate of games tonight in the Southeastern Conference. Georgia is at 4th ranked. Vanderbilt. Georgia's been face planting of late. Vanderbilt right now at 6-0 in the league. Missouri is at 18th ranked. Kentucky. Missouri's at 3-3 after sweeping Tennessee. They were swept last weekend. Kentucky 5-1 in the league. Nice start for them. Auburn at 3rd ranked. Florida, Tennessee, and LSU will play game 2 tonight at 6 o'clock Central. South Carolina is in Stark Vegas to take on Mississippi State for game 2 of that series. That's also at 6 Central. And then this evening you'll also have Ole Miss at Texas A&M in a massive series. Rebels 0-6 in league play. Aggies 1-5 in league play. Something's got to give. Someone's going to win their first series of this conference season. Ole Miss and Texas A&M. Don't let that Wagyu beef fly. That wind came through, bro. And, of course, Alabama is at Arkansas. Excuse me. Arkansas lost 2 or 3 last week to the LSU Tigers. Alabama 2-4 to open up conference play. Okay, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends Gulf Coast Office Products online at GCOPnet.com. GCOPnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale. That's what you always get at Gulf Coast Office Products. All right, let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back and wrap up hour number 1. I do want to give you thought on the Pels, which got a win last night and have now won 6 of 7. So no Jokic. And as I texted Muso last night, I watched the game in Spanish again because I can't figure out what my son did to our remote. And TNT is in Spanish now. I can't fix it. But anyway, We'll talk a little Pels when we come back. We're at Hogs for the Cause on the lakefront here in NOLA. Beautiful day. Get your behind out here today or tomorrow. Eat some great food, great people, listen to some awesome music, and raise money for a fantastic cause. We're at Hogs for the Cause. Wrapping up hour number 1 next.
AFR.
Want to remind you about Pluckers, Nicholson, and Bluebonnet. Dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. Game 2 tonight. LSU-Tennessee. My God, what a night it is. But anyway, if you're going to the game, swing on into Pluckers. The Nicholson location is just south of the box. It's on Nicholson, just south of Alec Box Stadium. Coming up Burbank, make a left. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom, right there. On your left, Pluckers can't miss it. You want to watch the game? Watch it there. Want to eat before or after the game? Go to Pluckers. Now, remember, Pluckers, you got the baseball team playing at 6. You got the basketball team playing at the women's basketball team playing at 6 also. Lost track of time, my apologies. And then you got gymnastics going right now. You got a great night of sports, great weekend of sports. You want to watch it all in one place, eat award-winning jumbo chicken wings, drink ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV. The best place to go is at Pluckers. Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. It's at Pluckers. Remember, at Pluckers, if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. A month after the WBRZ investigative unit exposed an eyesore off Government Street, someone began moving bright orange lifeboats to another empty lot in Baton Rouge. The councilman in that district, where they're showing up now, says the move is a no-go, and blight that won't be tolerated off of Government Street should not be tolerated in his district. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TD to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
It's a good trip. 2 games is solid, 3 games is good, 4 games is great. We'll take good, 3 out of 4.
the Pels win last night. They beat the Jokic-less Nugs 107-88, a game where the Pels got up early and never relented. A 21-point first quarter, but more impressively holding Denver to 17 in that first quarter. They ramped up the defensive intensity. Brandon Ingram, a triple-double in this ball game. Brandon Ingram is playing like a superstar, and they need him to be that if they're going to be anything. If nothing else, if absolutely nothing else, New Orleans has now made this interesting. Now, if I can, and on a brief tangent, I did watch the game in Spanish again last night. I don't know what happened. My son, Drew, who many of you know is a special needs kiddo, he's 8, and he knows the remote control changes things on the television. And so, like, a lot of times he'll, like, bring me the remote if he wants to see it. So he'll be like, Sesame Street, Daddy, and he'll hand me the remote. Because he knows, or he'll say, fast, because he likes to watch things in fast forward. Whatever. I don't know. He can't explain it to me. He just likes to watch things in fast forward, whatever. To each their own. Well, at some point this week, he realized he can push the buttons. And when he pushes the buttons, things happen. And so I walked into the den, and the TV was on fast forward, and I'm like, what is going on? And I looked, he's sitting in the chair, holding the remote, pointing it at the TV, pushing buttons. I'm like, you little son of a bugger. Well, he did something. 2 nights ago, I'm watching the Pels, and the game's in Spanish. And it was the Warriors game. And the game's on in Spanish, and I just assumed that TNT was doing some type of, like, Spanish language broadcast, whatever. I mean, it's a late-night game. I don't always watch the 9 o'clock tip on TNT, whatever. It's just late. So the game's in Spanish. You can tell it's a weird overlay. And I'm watching this game, and it's in Spanish. And I'm like, that's weird. So I guess it was Wednesday of this week. We're on air, and I told Muse, I'm like, yeah, we're, like, on air. I'm like, so, and the game was weird. It was in Spanish, and Muse was like, yeah, I watched it, but I watched it in English. Like, and it was a genuine thing. Like, I had no idea, and it clicked. Like, Drew has done something to my TV, and there's not an SAP button because we have shout out to Acadian Home Theater. They do awesome stuff. They came and programmed all of our stuff so I can run everything in the house off one remote. They do a great job, by the way. Shout out to them. Unpaid advertisement, but Brian and the crew, they do awesome work at Acadian Home Theater. They're on Perkins. Anyway, but so I have one remote that programs everything. And Drew was just pushing, and it's just TNT. It's just that channel. It's not just that channel. It's just that channel when it's basketball. Like, I don't know how to fix it. So I am, if the Pels keep playing on TNT and I'm watching basketball on TNT, I'm watching in Spanish. It is the damnedest thing. So help. I need help. I need to somehow help. I need someone to help. Either that or I need to learn Spanish. I need to become fluent, which is also maybe an option. Not as practical an option, but one that could help. Anyway, so the Pelicans win the game. No Jokic last night for the Nuggets. He was scratched. Giant night for BI. All of a sudden now, the Pels have won 5 of their last 6, and we've been looking at the standings, over the past several weeks. I know we buried them a few weeks ago, and I still don't know what they can actually become, but they're now 1 spot out of the 6 seed. The Pelicans are right now in the 7. A game behind Golden State, and with 5 to play, 4 of those 5 at home, and playing a bunch of teams that could very well be resting starters because their playoff seeding is going to be locked in, and the one team that they have to play on the road is Minnesota, and we just found out Naz Reid has a broken hand, and he's going to be out for an extended period of time. The Pels may have, the basketball gods may be smiling on this team in the final 2 weeks of the season, oddly enough. And if, again, this is a giant if, and it's a giant unknown, if Zion Williamson, who dunked last night in pregame when he was getting shots up, if Zion is healthy and comes back, then we recalibrate everything we think about this team, because if you do, in fact, have a healthy Zion Williamson, it changes everything you think about this basketball team. I would love to believe it. I'm still going to be a doubting Thomas. I'm going to have to see it to believe it. But they have put themselves – they have done mathematically what they needed to do to put themselves in place. So 5 to go. The Pels are – look, they're 1 game out of the 6 seed, meaning they wouldn't even have to fool with the play-in. But they're 2 games from the 11, meaning they're out of the play-in. So you got 5 to go. What can you do? Let's see it. All right, it's After Further Review. Friday shows are brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Always love telling you about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank and vinyl siding. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Give Brandon Holly and the gang over at Relief Windows a call. They do gorgeous work. If it's energy-efficient replacement windows, if it's beautiful entry doors, if it's hardy plank or vinyl siding, you want to make your home more energy efficient, their hardy plank and vinyl siding are amazing options. It's at Relief Windows. Check them out at their showroom on Airline Highway in Prairieville or online at ReliefWindows.com. That's ReliefWindows.com. Windows door siding, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Our Theriot, Hogs for the Cause. Next.
AFR.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Theriot with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Theriot and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports the NBA and its players are making progress toward a new basic agreement. The current deadline is midnight Eastern tonight. If an agreement is not reached, either side could opt out of the current deal after the season is over. LSU and Virginia Tech tip off the women's Final Four tonight in Dallas, 7 Eastern for our megacast coverage on the ESPN family of networks. That game will be followed by unbeaten South Carolina against Iowa, featuring Player of the Year Caitlin Clark. ESPN's Monica McNutt.
The thing with South Carolina is they can put a defender on her and they can guard everybody else. And so I just think that this is a team with too much depth and too much size, and the team comes before the single performance for as dynamic as Caitlin is. And that's no knock against her. I just don't think Iowa in totality can keep up.
Monica McNutt on KJ and Max. Grant McCasland is the new head coach at Texas Tech. He coached North Texas to the NIT championship last night in Las Vegas.
If you're experiencing a spring hiring rush, then you need Indeed. Their powerful all-in-one hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Want to find your next great hire? Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
It's that Louisiana boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You pitch a better reload.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot.
How's your week going?
Week was good.
Yeah, good.
I have a good. I'm full of good ideas.
On ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Here comes Theriot. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers, and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
The wave pool, although probably full of bacteria, flesh-eating parasites, and the occasional turd, provides endless hours of fun. It's not cool to have a 30A sticker on the back of your grocery go-getter. Big fan of the truck.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Theriot around start. He heads for home. Here's the throw. He is safe. Tigers win. Tigers win.
He on third and they about to finish, please, let's go. Get the point, cuz, AKA Mr. Sit him down. Lead him on, sit him on.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Juan Cigar Bar. We're at Hogs for the Cause on the lakefront in NOLA. Fired up to be here, man. My first time, and this has blown away any expectation I could have had. Big shout out, Ben Mintz and the folks representing Morton Anderson's Mullets. That's the barbecue team representing, my goodness, New Orleans, Atlanta, Houston, Charleston, Connecticut, Arkansas. I'm looking here at the banner. Fox Brothers in Atlanta, Blue Oak in New Orleans, Wright's Barbecue, Hootie Brown Barbecue, Home Team Barbecue. Amazing. Green Street Smoked Meats, Iverstein, Swig and Swine. I mean, I'm telling you, y'all, they showed up and showed out in a huge way. I'm fired up to be here. All right, Theriot is joining us on the phone for a couple of segments, talk baseball and other sort of inanity. Oh, my God, what is that? Hold on. Wait. Here, come here, Gray. Put this on. Put this on so people can hear you. Hang on. Theriot, what's up, bro?
Hey, this is a...
Hey, man.
Oh, you know, another day. Like, by the way, you're not here, and my guy Gray just came over and put a big slab. What is that?
So this is a certified Angus beef double smoked brisket sausage foldie.
What are you talking about?
And if you need anything else, there's some pepper jack cheese mixed in there, too.
Oh, my God. That's so stupid. It's so good.
Enjoy that.
Oh, thank you, man. They're just like... He told me, he's like, Theriot, he told me, he's like, dude, we got so much food coming. You want some, like, we got chicken wings. We got all this. Like, Theriot, you should see the setup behind me. Like, they could feed a bajillion people here.
How fat are you right now?
Really fat. And you know what? You could have been here. I told you 2 days ago, hey, man, you come down if you want. And you're like,
It's not on my diet. It's not on my diet.
Please tell our audience, our dear listener, the story of what you did. You told me last week where you went and ate something and then the next morning had lost weight.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, listen, when you're trying to lose weight and when you're working on it, you have certain cravings. Well, my weakness, and I've said this on the show for years, my favorite restaurant is Taco Bell.
Favorite restaurant is Taco Bell.
It is a restaurant. It's delicious.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know this or not, but they've recently brought back the Mexican pizza. I'm not sure which dumbass decided not to make Mexican pizzas, but at some point they stopped making them.
Erica loves the Mexican pizza too, bro.
It's so good.
It's disgusting. Now, I like Taco Bell, but the Mexican pizza, no thanks, bro. Like, if I was just going to go get a pizza. I'm not eating the Mexican pizza. Not at all. But I do like Taco Bell. No, not hating at all on Taco Bell.
So I had a craving for a chalupa a few nights ago, and so my weight loss journey it's nothing short of epic right now. I'm on a great run, but I just needed it, and so I went 2 chalupas, beef supreme because I'm old school.
Yeah.
Then I went Mexican pizza. I tried to order Mexi Melts. The lady didn't know what I was talking about. But, I mean, you remember Mexi Melts. How good were those things?
I don't want to completely derail your story, but the thing that I miss the most is the double-decker taco. That was a thing that they did when Shaq was one of their endorsers, and they would take the soft taco, put the bean dip on it, and then wrap a regular taco in the soft taco. It was so good. God, I was such a fat kid. Oh, I was so fat as a kid.
No, it's not good. There's no fat. So I go, and Jonna and I, and we just, it was like one of those late night 2 a.m. like after college runs. Like, I'm ordering, and the lady's like, "Okay, thank you." I'm like, "No, I got another one," and I just kept going and going. Wake up the next morning. After my ritual, which includes, going to go to the bathroom, right?
You got to drop
pretty regular.
For sure. Yeah, regular. Yep, got it.
Dude, I'd lost weight.
Well,
I actually lost weight eating Taco Bell. So, I'm starting to question my low carb, no sugar deal. But I don't know.
How much do you weigh now?
177 this morning.
Weren't you at 172?
At one point, but not since college.
Okay. 177 is just that's too small. That's too small.
I started this journey at 214.
Oh, wow.
So Jonna bought me some really nice pants and jeans for Christmas, some kind of expensive stuff, and I couldn't even button them, and I was so embarrassed. She called me fat, said she didn't like big stomachs, and okay, I said, "I'll show you, woman.
I'll show you, lady.
I'll show you,
friend.
lady
That's
friend."
right.
So here we are today. So I'm actually at Traction, about to work out.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, you should be here at Hogs for the Cause if you weren't a loser. It's where you'd be, is here with us, hanging out and having a good time with all these people from all over the country, raising money for great children's charities. That's what we're doing, and you're just being selfish there.
I am working on a little Ryan time.
You're working out, and I'm about to eat a giant pork sausage thing with peppers and cheese on it and everything. It's so good. Hey, I know you watched the LSU baseball game last night against Tennessee. Hey, if you were hitting against Paul Skenes, wait, first let me give me a comp. Give me somebody you faced at the big league level that Skenes reminds you of.
He's big, so like Steven Strasburg, Mark Pryor. His stuff reminds me of Justin Verlander. Like Strasburg had the big 12-6 breaking ball, big curveball. Same thing with Pryor. But Verlander has more of a side-to-side breaking ball, which reminds me a little bit more of Skenes. But just body type, just Roger Clemens, 6'4", 6'5", just big, intimidating guy out on the mound. But as far as his stuff goes, dude, Justin Verlander at his best was very similar to that.
That's
just dominant pitcher. Yeah.
What would be your approach against Skenes because let's just be honest here. This guy's got double-digit strikeouts in, 7 consecutive starts? Like, how do you put the ball in play against him?
So, as a just selfish approach, if I'm just saying what I would do personally first off, I can't let him get to 2 strikes, right? So what I'm going to say is going to contradict itself, but I can't let him get to 2 strikes because he's got 2 pitches that he can strike me out with. I think the fastball is a legit strikeout pitch, which is very rare. And I think the slider is probably the best strikeout pitch in college baseball right now is his slider. So if he gets me to 2 strikes, I'm screwed. So I'm trying to make contact early in the count. I don't want to let him get ahead of me. And if that means swinging at the first few pitches that I see that are straight, then that's what I'm going to have to do. Now, the flip side of that, if I'm in a hitter's meeting before the game starts as a team and you're trying to game plan for a guy like Paul Skenes, all you can do is try to get his pitch count up and get him out of the game, right? So totally opposite of what I just said. From a team standpoint, you're taking till you get a strike. You're trying to foul balls off. You're not necessarily trying to get hits. You're just trying to get his ass out of the game and try to get into the bullpen because you can't hit him. I mean, I think he's proven in his 7 starts that he's had this year that you're not going to square him up very often, 1 or 2 guys per game. So your best bet in winning the ball game is to get his butt out of the game.
Yeah. And nobody's been able to do that because when he can go shove at 100 miles an hour at his 108th pitch, it's pretty silly. Hey, sit tight. Theriot's with us here. We're at Hogs for the Cause. Theriot's back in BR, but he's joining us here for a couple of segments, Riot Radio Hours. But we're just going to do a couple of segments here because we're on site. When we come back, I want to talk a little more about last night's game, and I want to preview tonight as well with Floyd and Burns. So sit tight. Theriot is with us here on the phone. We're going to knock out a quick break. We're at Hogs for the Cause on the lakefront here in New Orleans. I'm fired up to be here, man. I'm so glad we did this and excited for the rest of the show and tonight and this whole weekend here in New Orleans. So stick around. It's AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
AFR.
I want to take 60 seconds to remind you about River City's 1-hour air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. Y'all, it is gone. Winter is gone. We always get one more cold snap. That was 2 weekends ago. It's gone. It is 81 degrees right now at 4:12 in the afternoon, and you better believe the warm weather is here. But the preseason AC tune-up doesn't last forever. They don't keep rolling this special all the way through the summer months. It's a preseason preventative measure. Call River City's 1-hour air. Have them come out to your house. Let them do this preseason AC tune-up to get your AC clean, tuned up, running efficiently for the coming warm weather. And also, this will help extend the life of your unit. And mention the Moscona special. They'll knock $25 off the price. It's at River City's 1-hour air. Call them right now. Don't wait. 752-0001. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on select new 2022 Ford F-150 trucks. $10,000 off plus 0% financing. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TD to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green. This is Ryan Theriot with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Theriot and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Remember, you can always get out to Don Juan Cigar Bar there in Town Center, stock your stash, or just enjoy a premium cocktail, cigar, watch the game, relax, unwind. Great spot in Town Center, Don Juan Cigar Bar, bringing us our Friday AFR all throughout the year. And, of course, you're home for whiskey and wine after every LSU football game. All right, Theriot's with us on the phone. Spent last segment, he was talking mostly about Taco Bell, and but we did talk a little bit about Paul Skenes. Hey, man, I want to get a couple of other reactions from last night's game from you. Chase Dolander from Tennessee, boy, he was wobbly, but LSU had their opportunities against him. Was his ability to wiggle off the hook more him pitching well or LSU not taking advantage of opportunities?
I mean, I think we're talking about a guy that's going to be a major league pitcher, first round guy. You know, obviously didn't have his best stuff and didn't look great. I think that was super obvious. But you know, this isn't some slouch, right? You know, hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do. I just think that you're facing a real arm, maybe probably one of the better arms they're going to see, if not the best arm they're going to see this year. And you're not going to put up 7-8 runs off of that guy. You know, there were some opportunities LSU's offense could have taken advantage of for sure. But there's a reason why that guy's going to be a millionaire in a few months.
Yeah. Have you seen Chase Burns, the guy from Tennessee who's going to throw tonight?
Yes.
All right, give me look, we know he can run it up 98, 99, but give me a little bit of a thumbnail scouting report on Burns.
Yeah, kind of similar to a poor man's version of Skenes in the sense of where, you know, he does have the big arm. The breaking ball is not as dominant, doesn't locate it, and doesn't locate the fastball like Skenes does either. Look, I don't care how hard you throw. If you're missing over the middle of the plate, you're going to get hit, right? So with him, it can be extremely dominant at times, but also he can be hit. You know, the fastball is straighter than you would expect, so he is hittable. But if you locate it, you know, and you're throwing 99, doesn't matter if the ball is straight or not. So really flip a coin with him. He can be really, really good, but then he can miss out over the plate too and get hit.
What do you think? I'm gonna come back to Floyd in a second, but I want to stay on the matchup with LSU against Burns. We talked about this a bit yesterday on the show, and you know we talked about Kendall Rogers and some other people this week. Do you think that considering Tennessee will start 3 hard-throwing righties, that Jay should lean more heavily with lefties in the lineup? That means, of course, Pearson, who started last night, Beloso, who started last night, but Joe Bear, who did not play last night. They went with Jones at first base. What are your thoughts on how Jay should maybe it up against the righties the next 2 days?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely getting Jobert in there is going to be priority probably the next day or two. I'm not sure what the lineup is tonight, but, it's a guy that ran 18 homers out of the yard last year and it's kind of proven that he can hit at this level. So, you give him an opportunity to get out there and swing against the righty. I'm not super, concerned with the matchup game, the right on left matchup game. These righties have seen mostly righties their entire lives and vice versa. The lefties have seen mostly righties their entire lives, and so, having Jones in there last night didn't surprise me. I don't hate him being in there by any means, but because look, he's got as much power as anybody, but I do think getting Jobert in there is important. Not because he's left-handed, but just because he can do damage. We've seen a nice little run from Beloso, and really good to see him get some maybes under his belt and produce. And I would expect the same from Jobert. Pearson it was all a matter of time for me, Matt. I mean, he was such a good player last year. It was interesting and surprising to me that he didn't get very much run early. I know he didn't have a great fall, but man, last year, just watching him swing the bat, the way he commanded the game, ran the bases, the kid's a winner. And so having him out there is important.
Kling's hot start obviously played a factor as well. I mean, you couldn't justify taking Kling out. But look, they gave Kling a great opportunity. He led off the games in College Station, and he really had a tough weekend. And so that gave Pearson the opportunity, and he's obviously made the most of it. But, the other thing, too, is, what you do with Morgan. We've seen Morgan in left, and look, he is would you agree, a plus defender in left field? I mean, golly, I mean, the diving catch he made last weekend on the line. Last night he made the catch right up against the bullpen, going on top of the bullpen mound in left field. I mean, would you keep running Trey Morgan out into left field and having Jones or Beloso at first, and essentially sacrificing Jobert in the outfield?
I mean, if it means getting that extra bat in the lineup, I wouldn't look at it necessarily as sacrificing Jobert in the outfield. I would hope you could add his bat from a DH standpoint in the lineup, and you're adding another bat, whoever that may be, playing first base. It's a luxury that not a lot of teams have. Quite honestly, it's a luxury that not a lot of big league teams have. I mean, we're talking about two positions, and you've got four guys that can legitimately go out there and play it at a very high level. So if Morgan can, I think he's an upgrade in left field. I do. So if that makes your team stronger, then 100%. Now, is that where he's going to play at the next level? I don't know. I mean, the guy is a really good first baseman. I mean, who touches the ball more than the catcher and the pitcher on the field? It's the first baseman, right? So you don't just put the kid that can't do anything else at first at this level. Those guys.
Yeah, you do.
When you have a plus defender, you got a plus defender at first base, man. It saves a lot of errors, saves a lot of runs.
Base.
Yeah, well.
Put Sonny DeShera at first base. Hey, fat kid. I was a fat kid. Play first base. You can't move. Right. Just stand there and catch the ball and slug homers. Bro,
yeah, how hard is it?
Come on, man. Like, of course you're not putting Trey Morgan. Like, do you honestly think Trey Morgan will play first base in professional baseball?
I think he could, man. If you have lights out.
Of course he could.
Yeah.
He could. I could. Could? Willie.
Well, think about it like this. Matt. How many times is the first baseman going to touch the ball in a game? How many times is the left fielder going to touch the ball in the game?
Stand there and catch it. Who's got tougher plays to make?
First baseman.
No.
I mean, you got to scoop a ball coming across the field. You got to make plays on bunts. I mean, we all remember Keith Hernandez. Look, I played with one of the guys I think the best ever in Derek Lee, and he could have 100% played in the outfield easily. But
how many are there?
There's not many. That's my point. I mean, there's not many. I've talked about Keith Hernandez and Derek Lee, right? There's not a whole lot of them, but his defense is really, really elite over there. I mean, I don't think we can argue that. So I don't know. It would depend on the personnel on your team where you put him, but
no argument.
He can save you some runs.
No argument. He is a really good defender at first. No argument at all. That's true. He's also not going to play first base at the next level, man. There's no way. Anyway, well, whatever. I don't want to get bogged down in that conversation. All right, let me ask you about Ty Floyd. Theriot's with us. We're here at Hogs for the Cause in New Orleans. Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Hey, let me ask you about Ty Floyd. He's going to get the ball tonight. Boy, I don't know if you got to see him last weekend, but they went error, 2-run homer to start the game, and then, man, did he settle in, and was he awesome. Do you think Ty Floyd – is there reason to believe that he's turned the corner and is going to be that really solid, consistent number 2?
I mean, this is the game that's gonna tell us if he is or if he isn't. I mean, I think tonight is a very important moment in his LSU career. But it's what I'm most intrigued to see today. You know, it's not LSU's offense against against Tennessee, or a really good Tennessee pitching staff. It's what Ty Floyd's going to do against an offense that can swing the bat. I mean, last week I thought was a great test for him. You saw how he bounced back from some adversity and ended up throwing the ball well. This isn't a secret or a surprise for me and those that are pretty close to the program. He's a guy that's going to pitch in the major leagues. You know, he's gonna have a great career. He's got very good stuff. He's got repeatable mechanics. He's fastballs, mid 90s, mid to upper, but he throws it with ease, very low effort. I mean, he's got all the ability in the world, Matt, to pitch for a long time, and I'm just most interested and intrigued to see how he throws tonight.
How do you think he matches up against that Tennessee lineup you saw yesterday?
Well, I mean, he's one of those too. You know, we talked about it a little bit with the Tennessee guy, but if he can control his third breaking ball, I think, and not just at the collegiate level. I think it's his third breaking ball. You know, a guy like Skenes, when he throws his changeup, it's a bonus, and everybody goes, "Oh my God, he's going to throw that now? We got no chance." Ty has to have that third pitch to be at that level, and we saw last week the third breaking ball, the second breaking ball was effective, pretty much all night after the first inning. The matchup is going to be determined on that. You know, can the hitters eliminate one pitch and still have success, or are they going to have to worry about the second breaking ball being thrown for a strike? And his ability to control the changeup, I think is going to be the make or break point for the game tonight.
All right, Ryan Theriot is with us on Twitter at rterrio7. Y'all give him a follow. By the way, this is normally where we do Kick Rocks, and because he's in Baton Rouge and I'm in New Orleans, we're not doing Kick Rocks today. But of course, Kick Rocks is brought to you by Ruckus, our awesome friends Ronnie Paul, the great people over at Ruckus on Jones Creek. They've been doing it for 20 minutes. My guy Bo over here, he's a skater. Bo's a 50-year-old skater.
I love that. Bo and Ronnie are both 50.
Bo's 50 years old. He still rolls out to skate parks, and he's doing like that the half pipe and all that stuff. Half pipe or hash pipe? What is it, Bo? The half pipe. Got it. Okay. Hash pipe is a Weezer song. Got it. That's it. Anyway, look, skate shoes, sneakers, awesome spot over at Ruckus. You want to go tomorrow?
Yeah. I have a game at 11, but we can go after that. Sure.
Okay, I'll go with you tomorrow. What do you want to get?
Yeah. I need some jean shoes, so maybe some like the Nike, just some SBs maybe that I can wear with jeans.
I need to check out I'm gonna check out their Insta. It's Ruckus 103, RUKUS 103. It's where you can find Ruckus. But I need to check out if they got anything new as well. I need to go check. I love going in there. It's like my little Graceland now. I love it. I love it so much.
It's a great place.
I do. I love it so much. There was something else I wanted to ask. Oh, yeah, two more things. All right, two more things quickly before we go. Number one, is Paul Skenes the best? This is the Citizens Bank and Trust Twitter poll question of the day, by the way. Is Paul Skenes the best armed talent ever at LSU?
To this point, it's not even a discussion, yes.
Okay.
Not even. And I look, this is all respect to the guys that have. I had a flat top when I was a kid because Ben McDonald was my idol, okay, right. And still is. This is no disrespect to Ben McDonald or to Aaron Nola or, Brian Wilson or any of those guys that were perennial big leaguers and did so much good things. This guy's talent is something that we may never see at LSU again.
Yeah. What about Brian Talent, the guy you played with? Upper 90s from the left side?
Yeah, no, not even. Honestly, and look, the guy that Tennessee ran out there last night is a mega dude. It wasn't even close. Yeah. Like, it wasn't even a comparison. It was two guys pitching in totally different levels. And this is, again, no disrespect, man. These are big leaguers. These are guys that made a ton of money and have done some really great things in the game. But what we're seeing weekly is absolute dominance. Yeah. And with edge, right? Like, what makes him different to me is his attitude and the edge that he brings to the game and his intensity. He's going to be the first one out of the dugout tonight, congratulating his teammates. He's going to be the first one pulling for his teammates. Like, the kid is just different, man. And I'm not in the locker room with him, but you can see it from the outside looking in. I mean, he's the leader of the team. And, oh, by the way, he's also the best player on the team, best pitcher, right?
13,068 watched the game last night, largest crowd in LSU history. You played in front of some really good ones. What did you think about the crowd last night?
Boy, that was a 5-run inning or whatever it was, the big inning there late.
Yeah, the three-run double.
The 3-run double from Jordan. Man, that was reminiscent of some super regional type feels at the box. I'm talking loud, and place was going crazy. I love it for those guys, for the players. I got chills just listening to it, hearing it, because I know what that feels like when those guys get super loud. I mean, that's our advantage. You saw Tennessee make a few errors. The place got loud. They started kicking some balls and miscommunication, and then bam, you get the big knock. And so if you're out there tonight, man, scream like an idiot. Do it again. It's awesome.
All right, we appreciate it. Thanks, dude. Have a good weekend.
Hold on. You can't let me go too soon. I got to tell you about Haspel.
Oh, yes, please. Tell me about Haspel, please.
Yeah, because you guys got to go to Haspel.com. It's the originator of the seersucker. It's coming, by the way. The Kentucky Derby is right around the corner. Yes. National Seersucker Day is Thursday. It's the second Thursday in June. This year it's going to be June 8th, okay? There's 14 different colors of seersucker at Haspel.com, okay? Go to Haspel.com, type in Riot 10, and you'll get a 10% off your order. Again, but it's not just seersucker, man. They got all kind of swimsuits and the shoes, accessories, lightweight wool shirts, jackets, formal wear. It's a Baton Rouge based
T-shirts.
Been around since they got it all. I have on a Haspel T-shirt right now. Been around since 1909. So you guys support a local company, but also a company that's been here forever. And, man, these clothes are awesome. Shout out to the guys at
Haspel.com. Founded in New Orleans. The website says founded in New Orleans in 1909. Right where we are in New Orleans today. Code RIOT10, RIOT10, code RIOT10 will give you 10% off at Haspel.com. Look at that. Hey, I really want to go to the Kentucky Derby. Do you want to get some seersucker suits and go to the Kentucky Derby this year?
Okay, so let's get our suits ordered next week.
Okay.
Let's do that. It's going to take about a week and a half to get it in, which is very good. I mean, these are custom suits that are going to be made about a week and a half.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, and there's 14 different colors, so we should probably do a Dumb and Dumber type theme where you'll get
I'm going orange.
Color.
Orange.
Okay. All right, perfect. They have orange.
I can wear it to all the Calicut games. I'm looking at the website. I can wear it to all the Calicut games.
Okay. You do orange, and then I'll do I don't know what else. I like the green, actually. I may do green.
No, do Broadmoor blue. It's Dumb and Dumber. It's blue and it's orange. You do your Broadmoor baby blue, and I'll do orange.
Okay, and we need a hat. They also have the buck. Yeah, they have the shoes and the bucks, too, so we can do all that.
So good. Okay, all right, we're doing it. Haspel.com. Go to Haspel.com. Use the code RIOT10. Okay, have a good weekend. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Hey, man, enjoy yourself. Don't eat too much.
I won't. Probably not going to eat much at all. But there's Theriot. All right, it's after further review. Appreciate Theriot for joining us. We're at Hogs for the Cause in New Orleans. We're on the lakefront, right next to UNO Lakefront Arena. This thing is awesome. Like, think of an outdoor festival. Think of Jazz Fest, but just all, like, barbecue teams, cooking teams from all over the country coming here to cook food, listen to great music, and raise money for awesome children's charities. I mean, what a freaking event, man. And shout out Urban South Brewery. See, if you're watching, you see the Urban South. They apparently donated the beer for this booth, and they just got, like, pallets and pallets of beer here. So, Bo, let's start drinking some of the pallets of beer here. That's what we'll start to do. Crowds are starting to file in now. I think this thing really starts to build around 5 o'clock and then into the evening. So y'all get on down here, man. If you're not in New Orleans today, no worries. It's all day tomorrow as well. And the Morton Anderson's mullets, I don't know if you can see it behind me, but there's a Vespa. They're raffling off this Vespa. Bo, did we put the link in the we did. I'm sorry? Oh, Paul has it. Okay, all right. So Paul's going to drop the link in the – oh, cool. You can spin it. You can spin the camera. So Paul's going to put the link in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. So if you go to the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, put it in the chat. And Muse, if you wouldn't mind also, would you please drop that link in the 104.5 ESPN Twitter as well? I'd appreciate it so we can make sure that people can get the link for the Vespa raffle. Okay, we're late. Got to grab a quick break. We'll continue. Stick around here. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR brought to you by Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Tell you every day to get Gordon and get it done. Man, no better way to spend these 60 seconds right now than to give a super shout-out and a good luck to Coach Kim Mulkey and the women's basketball team. Of course, Gordon did great NIL deals with Angel Reese and with Alexis Morris and so many, and Flauget, but also, of course, with Kim Mulkey. And Kim Mulkey in year 2 has the Tigers in the Final Four, and they are tipping off in 1 hour and 24 minutes from right now. So big shout-out to members of the G team, Kim Mulkey, her players, getting ready to tip it off against Virginia Tech in the women's Final Four coming up here at 6 o'clock. And, of course, as I say every day, if you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys helping injured people in our state for more than 30 years. So you know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TD to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like Vans customized.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Mentioned that the Pels last night beat the Nugs. Of course, it was the Denver Nuggets, but I call them the Nugs. John Shewitt sent to the text line, Muso's favorite team, the Nugs. Hey, Muse, by the way, I know we got a delay, so by the audience, my apologies. There's a delay from here to studio, so when Muse answers me, there's going to be a delay, so I apologize. But last night, I got a text from Craig Dugas who said, ask AFR on a scale of Mickey Ultras and $1.50 half pints of vodka, how wasted was Muso last night? So Muso's last words before he left studio last night was, I'm going to see if I can go get a in me before first pitch. And then when Gavin Dugas hit the home run to put LSU up 2-1, all caps tweet from Muso, which misspelled the name Dugas, and naturally I quote tweeted it and said something to the effect of Muso being wasted. All right, Muse, the question everybody wants to know, how wasted were you last night at the LSU baseball game?
Well, to disappoint everybody, I wasn't. Traffic was a little worse than I kind of expected. Did not get a lot of beers in me. Just fat fingered the tweet. It was a hectic moment in the stadium. People are going crazy. Try to tweet it fast and just hit the I instead of the U. Hectic moment in the stadium. People are going crazy. Try to tweet it fast and instead of the U.
All right. Well, how many beers over the course of the night?
One.
This delay sucks.
One beer.
One beer? No. One beer. Oh, no. Okay. Thank you, Muse. By the way, so we are operating with like a 6-second delay from me to communicate with Muse in studio. So that's why you're hearing the long pause. So that's why we haven't interacted a ton with studio today, because we do have a little bit of a delay. But when we have calls, we're calling them from here on site. So maybe we could call Muse on the – that's what we could do. Could you call the studio line and talk to him that way? Oh, that's a good idea. We're live troubleshooting a remote live on air. Maybe we'll do that. All right, it's after further review. Muse isn't going to do Tigers and the Pros coming up here in the next segment. We're at Hogs for the Cause. I want to take a quick second. I'm not going to go long here because I want to make sure we leave time for Muse to do Tigers and the Pros. And, of course, Major League Baseball season opening day was yesterday. There were a lot of Tigers active. 8 LSU Tigers on opening day roster, so a lot that we have to get to. And Muse also has the news about Naz Reid, if you missed it. An injury to Naz Reid yesterday is going to keep him out for a while. And the Pels do wrap up the regular season against Minnesota at the Timberwolves. So Naz won't be available for that one. But we are here at Hogs for the Cause. And if you're not familiar, I want to take a quick second. And it's one of the reasons I was very happy to come here today. And Mintz is the one who sort of pushed us to do this and to be here, and I appreciate him for it. He's going to be with us in the next hour. We'll talk tons of sports, some spring football, some college baseball, that stuff with Mintz in a bit. But if you go to hogsforthecause.org, but just spelled like it sounds, Hogs, F-O-R-T-H-E, cause, hogsforthecause.org, you can learn more about the organization. But essentially, this festival is a giant fundraiser for Hogs for the Cause, and they raise money for communities all over the country for children with pediatric brain cancer and certainly other terminal illnesses or life-threatening illnesses. And it's pretty incredible. so they have, in part of their fundraising effort, they build Hogs houses, as they call them, which are homes near children's hospitals that allow families with children fighting cancer to stay for free. And it's pretty incredible. And they are building a Hogs house in Baton Rouge in connection with Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital. And one of the things that I've learned here, and listen, I mentioned we're here, and this team of cooks is restaurants from all over the country. Like I mentioned, Fox Brothers out of Atlanta, which many, of course, of our LSU fans and people based on know Fox Brothers. Blue Oak Barbecue here in New Orleans. Wright's Barbecue. Hootie Brown Barbecue, Home Team Barbecue. I mean, representing Atlanta, Houston, Charleston, Connecticut, Arkansas, and, of course, Louisiana. When they raise money on their teams, the money they raise stays in their communities. So, whenever if you go support or make a donation to Ben Mintz's team, it's supporting the Hogs houses here in Louisiana. So, just a great organization, and we're thrilled. Since 2009, they've raised over $1.9 million in direct grants to families, and another $3.6 million to hospital programs and other charities nationwide. So, an awesome organization, and that's what this is such a cool event, man. I'm blown away being here, and I'll tell you, we'll be back next year, and I'll make sure I block off a full weekend to be here Friday and Saturday. But it's great to be here and to support the work they're doing. And if you can't be here but can find a way to donate, that would be awesome. You go to hogsforthecause.org, hogsforthecause.org. There's a donate button at the top. You can learn more about the festival and all that sort of stuff in it. But if you can be here, do it. And I would encourage you, if you'd like to support Mincy's team, you can follow his links at any of his social media. If you follow at Barstool Mincy on Twitter or Instagram, anywhere, you'll find his specific links to donate to his team, and all that money stays here in Louisiana. So, all right, it's after further review. I appreciate you for indulging me there for a few minutes to speak to a little bit of why we are here today. So, all right, we are about an hour and 13 minutes away from first pitch of LSU-Tennessee Game 2. Hour and 13 minutes away from tip-off of LSU-Virginia Tech in the women's Final Four. The LSU gymnastics team is taking part in regionals as well right now, so I'm kind of trying to keep an eye on that, see how that's going for the Tiger gymnasts. A lot to get to. Let me knock out our final break here of hour number 2. We'll come back, and Muse will do Tigers and the Pros. Glad you're here on AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know. That's me, that's Theriot, that's our partner Richard Tilley. That's all of our great team together that's supported the state of Louisiana for more than 20 years for any roofing issue that you may have, from the smallest residential repair to the largest commercial roof replacement and everything in between. I want to remind you, a lot of people right now are struggling because of insurance in our state. Post-Ida, a lot of insurance companies have left the state. Maybe your homeowner's insurance company has dropped you. Mine did. I had to talk to the Insurance Network Louisiana guys to get my homeowners redone. If you've been dropped by your insurance company, a couple things. Number one, Hudco finances roof. We will finance your roof replacement so you don't have to pay cash out of pocket. We also, if you have been dropped by your insurance company, we will knock $1,000 off the price of your roof. And if you sign up for a fortified roof, we'll knock another $500 off the cost of your roof. Learn more right now at HudcoRoofing.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Theriot with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Theriot and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on select new 2022 Ford F-150 trucks. $10,000 off plus 0% financing. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Wrapping up hour number 2, Miuso has
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
All right, so we start with news out of the NBA involving Naz Reid. Shams with the news late last night. Naz has suffered a broken wrist, will miss a significant period of time. Tough loss, obviously, for the Timberwolves. We've been telling you how well Naz has been doing this season. Really his best of his career, averaging 11 points and 5 rebounds. He had scored double-digit points in 11 of the 12 games in the month of March. Braden Fehoko, some news for him. He announced on his own Twitter yesterday that he is signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So shout out to Braden Fehoko. Still waiting on some terms of the deal to be released, but Braden Fehoko, of course, released by the Chargers, now a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Major League Baseball yesterday, Alex Bregman and the Astros, they lost to the White Sox. Bregman wore the collar 0 for 4 with 2 punch-outs on opening day. Brighter days ahead for him, obviously. Josh Smith finished his day 0 for 1 with a run scored and a walk for the Rangers in their win over the Phillies, so he is still looking for hit number 1. Jake Fraley had the best day of any former LSU Tiger, 2 for 4 in the 3-hole at DH for the Reds, scored a run and drew a walk as well, so 500 early in the season for Jake Fraley through one game. Austin Nola 1 for 3 yesterday with a walk and a punch-out for the San Diego Padres. They lost to the Rockies 7-2. That is Tigers in the Pros. For the Padres, they lost to the Rockies 7-2. That is Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. You know where to find them online at lmfj.com. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. LSU-Tennessee.com. 2 locations in Baton Rouge, corporate in Bocage and in the Mall of Louisiana. Nobody does it better than Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge has gone to get engaged for 30 years. Gentlemen, if you're thinking of popping the question, where else would you go? Why would you go anywhere other than Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry? The highest quality diamonds at the best price, and you always get the Lee Michaels experience. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. All right, it is After Further Review. We are glad to have you hanging out with us here. A big shout out to the LSU gymnastics team competing in regionals today in Denver, and they did, in fact, advance to the regional finals. So the Tiger gymnasts will compete again Sunday in the regional finals. And, boy, a season that started off certainly disappointing for this team as they lost 3 of their first 4 meets, battled a lot of injuries. But Jay Clark has a resilient bunch and a super talented bunch led by Haley Bryant, who's just incomparable. She's might finish her career as the greatest gymnast ever come through LSU, and one step closer here to a championship as they'll be in the regional finals on Sunday in Denver. Okay, hour number 3 of After Further Review, staring you right in the face after SportsCenter.
AFR.
As we put a button here on hour number 2 from Hogs for the Cause, get to take 60 seconds and remind you about our friends over at Traction. TractionSports.com, TractionSports.com. As a matter of fact, today before I got in the vehicle and drove down here to down here to New Orleans from Baton Rouge, got a workout in with young Tev over at Traction. Listen, if it's for you personally and you want to be more fit, achieve whatever goals it may be that you have personally, Traction, one-on-one fitness training, you could certainly do those one-on-one sessions. If it's more about your child, your son, your daughter who wants to maximize their potential in the sport they play, Traction can help. At Traction, they say it's where champions are made, where the same trainers, the same sports specialists who are working with the professional athletes that roll through Traction are the ones working with your sons and daughters. So remember, the Traction Easter camps, the Speed Performance Camp, and the baseball camp are coming up Easter week. So if you need something for your kiddos to do during Easter, think of Traction. TractionSports.com.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. A month after the WBRZ investigative unit exposed an eyesore off Government Street, someone began moving bright orange lifeboats to another empty lot in Baton Rouge. The councilman in that district, where they're showing up now, says the move is a no-go, and blight that won't be tolerated off of Government Street should not be tolerated in his district. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off new 2022 Jeep Gladiators and $8,000 off new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokees. All new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving. Text TD to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Theriot with HudscoRoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, Hudco can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Theriot and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call Hudco Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports the NBA and the Players Association are making progress on a new collective bargaining agreement. There is hope they can reach a deal before tonight's midnight Eastern deadline. The women's Final Four tips off tonight in Dallas. Coverage of that semifinal doubleheader starts at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Virginia Tech and LSU, followed by South Carolina and Iowa. ESPN's Monica McNutt.
I think the times are changing. I think that the investment in women's sports and the interest is growing. I don't think that we've arrived by any means, but I do think that this year it's a perfect culmination of really talented teams and a really talented player, obviously, in Caitlin Clark.
Monica McNutt on KJ and Max. Purdue center Zach Edey is the Associated Press Player of the Year, getting 57 of the 58 votes. Trace Jackson-Davis from Indiana got the other. Michigan's Hunter Dickinson enters the transfer portal.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, they're making things even easier to help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
We go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We are here at Hogs for the Cause on the lakefront in New Orleans. If you take 610, head toward UNO, you cannot miss. You cannot miss where we are. By the way, there is a ton of parking too. So if you're worried about that, don't. You might have a little bit of walk to get from where you park here to the event itself. But, man, festival atmosphere, tons of food everywhere, blown away. It feels like just think Jazz Fest scaled down. And it is really freaking awesome to be out here, man. And great day. The weather's is held up great. It's a little overcast, but, man, not a raindrop in the sky. And it has been so cool. All the pits burning and all the food cooking and raising so much money for Hogs for the Cause, for children with pediatric brain cancer and their families, and the Hogs houses that we've talked about. Just awesome. Awesome to be here. And what a day to be here as well, with so much going on here locally in the sporting world. We've been talking for weeks now about NFL free agency, the Pels making their playoff push as well. But right now, man, the epicenter of sports in this area, it's what's going on with LSU. I mean, we've got LSU baseball, game 2 against Tennessee. Lineup is posted, by the way, so I'm going to get to that here in just a quick second. The LSU gymnastics team advanced to the regional finals. That's coming up on Sunday. And, of course, 57 minutes from right now, LSU baseball, game 2, first pitch, 57 minutes from right now, tip-off, LSU Virginia Tech in the women's Final Four from Dallas. So, Ben Mintz is going to join us here. We'll talk some college, some spring football, some SEC baseball with Mintzy as soon as he gets over here, maybe in the next 15 or 20 minutes or so. But the lineup is posted for LSU Tennessee. I want to jump into this, but first, I want to hear a little bit from Jay Johnson after the game last night. First of all, I want to talk about the attendance. For as incredible as a home field advantage as LSU baseball has had at Alex Box Stadium. All the regional games, super regional games, the major series, the primetime games, the Friday night games, the Saturday night games, the great teams, the all-Pellicans, the first-round picks. The fact that in 40 years of a love affair between the LSU fan base and its baseball program, to set an attendance record is incredible. I mean, like, when I was a kid, I remember always going to Tiger Stadium, and this is like when everybody still got the program. But you get the program, and I would always look the attendance record that they set at Tiger Stadium when it was 82,000, when LSU played Washington in 1982. They had 82,000 people in the stadium, and I looked at that forever. Now, obviously, they've expanded the stadium, and it's been broken a bunch and all that sort of stuff, but you think about how long attendance records may stand. And to put 13,068 people, to break an attendance record at LSU is astonishing. And especially for a non-postseason game. And that happened last night, man. For everybody that was in that number, I'm jealous of you, man, because you got to go watch an incredible event. Here was Jay Johnson after the game last night.
I finally got a record here, with Skip Burtman and Paul Maneri. Yeah. It's hard to get any kind of records here. So
you're right.
I was really disappointed that we didn't finish up that sweep at Texas A&M because that was something neither of them had ever done.
That's true. That's exactly right.
But we'll take the 13,000. Those fans were phenomenal. And what a electric environment, and makes this the best place in the country to come play and definitely coach college baseball. Definitely coach college baseball.
Muse, grab the mic, please, because you were there last night. I watched it on TV, and it was still astonishing to watch on TV. But I do want some perspective. I know you talked about. Just take a minute and give me some perspective on what it was like being there last night for that game.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was as good as it gets for March 30th. I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, you can sit here and look at all the different games, like you said, regionals or whatnot. It was March 30th, and it was a Thursday night, and they put over 13,000 people in there, and it looked every bit of it. I mean, they were probably about 4 or 5 deep on the concourse around, the grandstand, all throughout the bleachers. There were multiple people standing. The standing room was sold out. I mean, it was awesome. And, for context, Scone, today I went back and looked at previous, big regular season series to look at the attendance. And one of the first ones I went back to was the 1-2 matchup with A&M in 2015, because that was also Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's number 1 versus number 2. Mm-hmm. And on the Thursday night, they had just a little bit over 10,000 people as the attendance. It was like 10,005, and then the Friday night game was 12-6 or whatever. But just to add more context, that's 1 versus 2 on a Thursday.
Yeah.
LSU put 13,000 people in that place on a Thursday night, and it was not a baseball crowd. It was rowdy for 9 innings.
Yeah, man, it was so much fun to watch. The lineup is posted for Game 2 tonight. And I'm here in yeah, thank you. You take the phone all the way. Okay. Lineup is posted for tonight. So let me run through this real quick. There was one change that we were wondering if we would see, and and we're going to see it. Actually, real quick, let me remind you about South Point Volkswagen so I don't forget and break before I do this. SouthPointVW.com, new and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. I'm loving driving my Atlas Cross Sport. Look, I loved my Atlas, 3-row, 7-seater family SUV, but as I drove it, I realized I didn't need the third seat. I kept it down at all time and used that for storage, but it's just me, Erica, Drew. So the Cross Sport takes out the third row, little sleeker design on the back. It's phenomenal. I'm loving driving it. Go test drive one today at South Point Volkswagen. Great inventory. I know inventory a lot of places is a problem. At South Point, they're getting inventory now, and they got certified pre-owned inventory as well. Airline just north of Highland, SouthPointVW.com, South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? Okay, LSU-Tennessee Game 2. We are 52 minutes away from first pitch. Lineup is posted. A lot of it is similar, but the one change is Braden Jobert is in the lineup tonight. So here's how LSU is going to line it up tonight against Tennessee. Gavin Dugas, no surprise. He will lead off and play second. Trey Morgan will play first tonight. So Morgan does go back to first base, and he'll stay in the 2-hole. Dylan Cruz, third, play center. Tommy White will play third and bat fourth. He'll hit cleanup. Cade Beloso remains your DH, and he'll bat fifth. Pearson will play right and bat sixth. Jordan Thompson bats seventh. He'll be at shortstop, of course. And there's Braden Joubert. Joubert goes in at left and bats 8th, and Brady Neal will catch and bat 9th. Ty Floyd on the bump for the Tigers. So Dugas, Morgan, Cruz, White, Beloso, Pearson, Thompson, Joubert, Neal. So the big change, obviously, is Pearson moves up in the lineup. Jones out of the lineup tonight, and Joubert in left field. So Morgan goes back to first base. This is the lineup, quite honestly, I thought we would see for all 3 games. And I totally understand and appreciate having Jones in the lineup. Theriot talked about it last hour. His opinion, and look, this guy played a decade in Major League Baseball. I'm not poo-pooing. There's just different opinions, different approaches of how to do things. But he said, look, right-handed hitters, they face right-handed pitching. Left-handed hitters face right-handed pitching most of their lives. And I totally understand that. But if I can have a veteran left-handed heavy lineup against Burns, really all 3 games. Dolander last night, Burns tonight, Bean tomorrow. That's my preference. I would look when I look at Joubert and I look at Jones. I'm not saying they're the same guy. Please don't misunderstand. Obviously, but there are similarities. They are high risk, high reward guys. Both have tremendous power. There is a lot of swing and miss with both of them. There's similarities. Jones is from the right side. Joubert is from the left side. The difference, obviously, is Joubert has played a very good left field for LSU. Jones is first base DH. He came as a catcher, I understand, but he's not taking that catching job away from Neal or Milazzo behind him. So I'm not in any way being dismissive. I understand how incredible a physical specimen and a talent that Jones is. But in this situation, if I have an opportunity to load up my lineup with lefties, to get Morgan back to first base, have Pearson and Joubert as my outfielders, and still have a veteran bat and Cade Beloso in the lineup, I like this lineup tonight. This is the one I thought we would see. We had a chance to see for all 3 games, but the difference, obviously, yesterday they went with Jones. Today it's Joubert in the lineup, and they just had to shuffle a little bit. So let's see if this lineup can break through tonight against Chase Burns, who Chase Burns has been a little bit more he's been a little bit more consistent this year than has Chase Dolander. So, look, they're both incredible. I'm not trying to minimize either of them. I mean, Dolander last night, I heard Jay Johnson say it after the game. It's kind of incredible. Like, you think you're getting through against him. You're drawing walks. You're driving up the pitch counts. You're hitting the ball hard. You look up and you got 1 hit. I mean, it's incredible. Like, even when he's struggling, he's still dealing, working into and then out of trouble. Burns has been the sophomore has been a little more consistent this year. He does have a 4.15 ERA, but 59 strikeouts to just 9 walks and 34 2/3 innings pitched. Very similar, but this is a dude that's going to come and shove upper 90s from the right side again. But I really want to see if these left-handed bats can get going tonight. And the thing is, the righties in your lineup are guys that you don't care, like they're going to be in the lineup no matter what, who you're facing. Like Dylan Cruz is never coming out of the lineup. Tommy White is never coming out of the lineup. Jordan Thompson's never coming out of the lineup. So I know that they can hit lefties right. It doesn't matter. But if you are looking for spots in the lineup where you can maybe find a favorable matchup, I think that's it. So let's see how this lineup does for LSU tonight against Burns. Again, strikeout stuff, just like Dolander. But LSU was able to hit the ball hard last night against Chase Dolander. They struck out 4 times all night, struck out 3 times against Dolander. He didn't get his first until, I believe it was Jones who was the first strikeout, but I think it was not until the 4th inning. But in any event, LSU and Tennessee, Game 2 coming up again in 47 minutes from right now. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. We're here at Hogs for the Cause in New Orleans. Things like I don't know if you can see behind me, but man, the gates are open. The crowd is picking up now behind us. If you are going to make it here for Hogs for the Cause this weekend, make sure you get out here to the Morton Anderson's Mullets team. And man, just an awesome day. And so far, it's been phenomenal to be here. Are picking up. Just what a night. It's going to be a great night here in a big day tomorrow. So if you can, get on out here to Hogs for the Cause. All right, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back, give you a few thumbnails on the LSU women's basketball team. They tip off in 46 minutes from right now against Virginia Tech. We'll hear from Kim Mulkey in advance of that game. And Ben Mintz is going to join us on site as well here at Hogs for the Cause. We'll talk some SEC baseball, some spring football, all that good stuff, and, of course, Hogs for the Cause. Glad you are hanging out with us here. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery, 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery. Was trading messages with Miss Teresa over at Clegg's just yesterday, and boy, they have been busy. I mean, it is that time of year, y'all. The weather's gorgeous. Spring is here. It's the time when everybody gets out of their hibernation. They get in their yard. They plant their garden, their flowers, their vegetables. They bring those lawns back to life. Your neighbors are outdoors again, and make sure Clegg's is part of your routine. If you're trying to kill those weeds that are sprouting up, Clegg's can help. If your lawn maybe just is a little brown and you got weed grass coming through, they can help with that as well over at Clegg's. You want to plant that vegetable garden, Clegg's can help. You want the Louisiana iris, which is a local favorite. We've got an amazing selection of the beautiful, rich purple flower that you see in so many gardens. They've got them. They've got roses, rose bushes. If you're looking for it, they got it at Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local. Be sure to tell them Matt sent you in. Clegg's Nursery.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off new 2022 Jeep Gladiators and $8,000 off new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokees. All new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TB to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get them now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, rolling through the 5 o'clock hour. Thrilled to have you aboard with us. For everybody watching on YouTube, thank you so much. As always, take a quick second, smash the like button on YouTube, and subscribe up to the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. This is certainly a great day that if you listen on radio, as you know, so many of you do, to find us on YouTube or WBTR in Baton Rouge, because what a sight this is here at Hogs for the Cause. David Werner is one of the team captains for Morton Anderson's Mullets, which are graciously hosting us here. He's going to hang out for a minute. Hey, man, thank you so much, first of all, for the hospitality.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to have you here.
My first time at Hogs for the Cause, T-Bob last year raved about the event. And we all saw the pictures of him on Friday night. Stay in T-Bob shape, all right? You would expect that after a full night at a festival. But I walked up today, and I was blown away. Can you kind of just, for those that aren't familiar with what Hogs for the Cause is, just kind of give us a little bit of the origin story, elevator pitch, 60-second origin story, and how this all came together?
Yeah, absolutely. So Hogs for the Cause started, I'm a little fuzzy on how long ago. I apologize for that. But it really started off with Becker Hall, who's kind of the founder and CEO of Hogs for the Cause. Basically said, hey, we need to raise some money for kids with cancer. I said, and so we work a lot with Children's Hospital here, and it was basically, hey, let's do a little barbecue contest. Let's raise some money. Let's help with that. And it really organically kind of just grew. It kind of kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so we really started with, just a few little ideas. And now they're doing grants all across the country. They've built 2 Hogs houses. They have one here at Children's Hospital in New Orleans. Actually just announced that they're going to be covering the operating costs for that, based just purely on the money that we raise.
It's awesome.
And, it's really an amazing thing. And, I said, everyone out here, I said, there's barbecue contests all over the country. And the really amazing thing is that everyone here, we all want to win. We're all competitive people, right? Barbecue-wise, said the Blue Oak guys said some of the best barbecue. With Morton Anderson's Mullets, I said I'm biased, but we have some of the best barbecue literally in the world. We have Fox Brothers, Hoodoo Barbecue, Rice Brothers, Feegis out of Houston. Literally some of the best barbecue you can have. But the truth is that none of that barbecue really matters. It's all about raising money for the kids. And I said it's for raising money for kids with cancer. And I said it's about supporting their families. And the Hogs House is a really cool thing. So basically with the Hogs House are a different children's hospital. I believe we have one here. And there's another one, I think, in Baton Rouge, maybe?
They're building the one in Baton Rouge at Our Lady of the Lake.
Yeah, so basically what they do is it allows the families to come in and stay at the children's hospital while the kids are getting treatment. It allows them to stay there for free of charge. And because you don't think about all the different things that happens when your kid gets sick. That's not something you plan for. So a big part of this is that we want to help them out as much as possible. And, like Becker is, being around him is truly like an amazing thing, because you look at him, you're like, oh man, like I think he was an investment banker beforehand. And so you talk about, when you're talking to him, you're like, oh man, like he's an investment banker. How'd you get into this? He's like, I saw a need.
Yeah.
He said, I just wanted to help, and that's what mattered more.
It's incredible, like, when life throws you curveballs or whatever, they become opportunities.
Absolutely.
And it's, I shared this, I don't know, but I shared this earlier with our audience. My son was born in Houston. We had to relocate. He was at Texas Children's. We knew prenatally he was going to be sick. We ended up spending 9 months in the hospital and, like, paying for housing.
Oh, yeah. It's a real thing.
Because we had our life still in Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
I had a mortgage. But we moved to Houston, and we were there. Like, I essentially had to pay for a second life for 9 months.
It's such an overtaking.
Without amazing, for like our Guarantee Media family, my buddy Ryan Theriot, who did a massive fundraiser for us as well. Like, without their generosity, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what my family. I literally have no idea. We would have just mountains of debt. You find a way, but like, so you look at the Hogs houses, and you're like, man, that's just. That what an I can speak to what an incredible resource.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That would
and
be for families.
There is so right now. So Becker talked about it earlier today in our captain's meeting. Talked about how we have not turned. We do our best not to turn on any justifiable need that we can across all 50 states. I said we've helped at least some family in some way across every 50 states in the United States of America. And I guarantee you, if he was sitting right here right now, he'd say we want to grow, we want to keep going, we want to keep going. And the best thing is this, and I said I'll tell you this is a little personal anecdote. Same with Becker. I said this was back in, I think, maybe November, maybe October. We had some people come out to Hogs, cook last year, had amazing barbecue, and they barely hit that threshold of fundraising. And
so all the teams here have a level they have to reach.
So just to be able to compete,
right.
You have to raise at least $5,000.
Okay.
I said I can't remember exactly how much we did last year, but we're always top 1 or 2 in regards to fundraising. I know this year we're we're really climbing to a pretty. I don't want to give away the prize.
Okay.
But I said,
okay.
But I said
we'll know it soon enough.
We got a pretty little penny coming through, but. We had there's some teams that came in and, they really were more worried about the barbecue. Mm-hmm. And, and I said, and Becker has one priority is raise as much money as we can. And he basically told those guys, look, if you're not going to raise money, we don't want you here. And that's what's here for. I said, look, you can find any way to donate. I said, you can go to pretty much any team here. You can find on our Instagram, Morton Anderson's Mullets Barbecue. You can go to Blue Oak, Fox Brothers, Hoodoo Barbecue. You can also go to the Hogs for the Cause page. Any donation you can allocate to a different team. Of course, I will advocate for you to do that for Morton Anderson Mullets.
I love it.
But that's what we're here for, man. I said in everything we do, I said we have tremendous partners. I said we have absolutely amazing people who are here who help us, and we couldn't do it. I said again like Matt. I said I said look, you may not do it, but I'll definitely make sure people know that you donated a substantial amount. And you didn't have to do that. I said we appreciate that because every single dollar that you donate is going to help somebody.
That's awesome.
And I said, and that's Becker's call. That's Hog's call, and and that's the best thing. And what's better than being out here and being able to donate money, raise a crap ton of money, and have a good time while doing it.
Dude, and this is going to be a great time. So if you go to hogsforthecause.org, hogs, FOR, thecause.org, you hit the donate button. You'll see where you scroll down. It'll say Hogs for the Cause team name, and then you hit the drop down and you'll scroll and you'll see Morton Anderson's Mullets. So there's there's got to be 100 team names on here.
Oh man, that's what's great. There's so many teams.
Yeah,
I will tell you right now, Morton Anderson Mullets. That's where you want to talk to.
Yeah,
I said if you come out here, come find us right by the main stage. We're auctioning off a Vespa. We're auctioning off a Jackson kayak donated by Massey's. I said, there's tons of ways to get involved. Just come buy our food. I promise you it's the best food you're going to have. I personally cannot seem to get enough of the Wright's barbecue. They have, I call it crack bacon. I don't know what it is, but it's just bacon with, it's bacon that's about 3 inches thick, and it's absolutely amazing, and I promise you it is worth it.
You know what's incredible, David, though? Let's say there are 100 teams here. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know the number, but it's
probably around that, a little bit more probably.
It's significant. Okay, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 different barbecue.
Yeah, so we also have a couple other teams that kind of throw in some. Yeah,
you could come here and not even come close to sampling everything.
Oh no!
You just have to pick where you want to go, what you want to eat.
Yep.
It is endless.
I
don't know how many people y'all are going to feed here this weekend, man. It's crazy.
It's unreal. I said, look, I've been coming here for years. Before I was even part of a team, I was coming, and I still don't think I've tried every team here.
Oh, wow.
I said, we get new teams every year. Like, we have crawfish this year. That's something new. It's just everything is good. Like, I did a TV interview last year for the local news, and it looked like I had an allergic reaction because I was so swollen for me. Those things you don't want to say no.
I know.
And they do make it really easy with the passes. You just load a card on your wristband.
Okay.
You tap the wristband.
Got it. That's
and
easy.
I said I'd deal with the credit card bill later. So.
So if you're coming out, if you're looking at the main stage, so if you're looking behind us, there's sort of this open field area. This will be the field area for the main stage where people will watch. If you're looking at the main stage, look to your left. You can't miss the Morton Anderson's Mullets. I mean, it's a pig with Morton Anderson's number 7 and a mullet eye. It's freaking amazing. I love it. But do we know what the musicians are going to be tonight and tomorrow? Do you know off the top?
Off the top of my head, no. I know we'll have JoJo from What's Our Panic. I know we'll have Paul and the Broken Bones. Don't quote me on the exact names.
All good.
But I said, it's just amazing. I've gone to a lot of the festivals here. New Orleans is definitely known for festivals. I don't think there's any place where you have quite as much access and quite as much visibility that you're going to find here. I said there's 4 different stages here. There's a Bullet Bar. Also, if you want to go see the world's largest jar of mayonnaise, it's right around the corner. I personally do not want to go anywhere near that much mayonnaise, but it's definitely over there. But I said there's a little bit for everyone. It's very kid friendly. I said, no one. I said, like I said, I've been to a lot of different places, and it's easy to come out here with your kids. I said, like you said, like buy your wristband, buy them food. Pretty much everyone here has some sort of kid-friendly activity or food that pretty much everyone's going to like one way or the other.
Yeah, man.
And I said, it's just a great experience. Whether you're here for the family, whether you want to come out and just have a good time, whether you want to enjoy some adult beverages. I said, there's just so much to offer, and it's one of those amazing things.
I should have just gone to the website because the full musical lineup is at the website at hogsforthecause.org. Hit the festival tab, and the lineup's right there. By the way, Jay and the Causeways are playing here tonight. I saw them at the Baton Rouge Oyster Festival a couple of years ago. They were magnificent.
Oh, yeah.
If you've never seen them, they put on an incredible show. Awesome sound. Check them out. Anyway, David Warner, man, I appreciate a couple of minutes. Again, thanks for hosting us here in the show here to making all this logistically happen and everything. It's been so much fun, man. We're going to keep spreading the word and raising some more money, man.
Hey, man, but appreciate everything y'all do. Thank you. You and Bo, your producer, being out here. He's a rock star. Make sure give him a raise. I'll text Gordy and let him know, just so you know. Everything y'all do is amazing.
You hear that? You hear that? Quit being so cheap. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
It's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. We'll see if we can run down Mincy. I'm not sure what he's doing right now, man. He said traffic was brutal here, and I don't blame him, man. It's just it's getting hectic and packed around here. But we got 30 minutes to go. We're gonna see if we can run down Mincy, talk a little sports with Ben Mintz of Barstool, and of course, we'll continue to set the stage for LSU-Tennessee Game 2 and the Lady Tigers basketball team in the Final Four 30 minutes from tip. What a night it's going to be, not only here at Hogs for the Cause, but in the sporting world. So we'll knock out a break, and we will continue here live on a Friday edition of AFR from Hogs for the Cause. Don't you move.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Rouse's, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Always get to Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. You can find the location nearest you. Shout out to T-Bob, who was live at Rouse's on Burbank today for about 2 hours during my show. Kept taking pot shots at me, but yeah, that's what we do, right? It's all familial. But hey, listen, it's a Friday in Lent, so if you are abstaining from meat, there's great seafood options at Rouse's. You want to cook your own? Great. Just go to the seafood market, grab you a tuna steak, grab you a piece of salmon, some great fresh catch, your own shrimp. They got it over at Rouse's. If you want crawfish, they've got crawfish at Rouse's, live and boiled. You can get boiled crawfish, boiled fresh, in-house every single day starting 11 a.m. at all the Rouse's locations, more than 60 across the Gulf South. It's Rouse's. Find that location near you at Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TD to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Theriot with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Theriot and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. ESPN.
Rolling along here, Hogs for the cause, 25 minutes away from first pitch of LSU baseball. Game 2 against Tennessee. Also, 25 minutes away from tip-off of LSU and Virginia Tech in the Final Four. And what a grand entrance for our guy Mintz. Hey, bro. Have you been out of Louisiana for so long you forgot what traffic on Fridays were like?
No, well, I had to go see the house that Chicken Fingers built for that video. That's going to be outrageous in the morning. But Todd Graves actually in Raising Cane's matching Big Cat's $10,000 donation to my 10K run next week. And,
I love it.
We have an outrageous video. I was running around his treehouse earlier. I'm running around it like it's the Rocky Steps. And
oh, is this like a training montage?
No, yeah, we did like a Todd Graves is my trainer, and he's like throwing the clipboard, yelling at me, telling me I'm not doing good enough. I mean, it's outrageous, man.
Who shot it?
My buddy, so I've got a new producer working with me, old Shreveport buddy of mine, Tyler Moody, that I've been trying to hire him for like 6 years. And so I'm finally getting the help. The people want more Mintzy, so we got to get on camera a little more,
I love it, man. For those who are indoctrinated, Ben Mintz, Barstool Sports, great dude from North Louisiana, Ole Miss guy, although we don't hold that against him. Great guy. Spend a millisecond with us at 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, then Barstool scooped him up. So, but it's great to have you here. By the way, thank you for the invite, for pushing me to be here, because, man, walking up, I've said this 100 times in air today, just blown away by what this is.
Yeah, it is. And, Matt, I know this is cool. Just you believe in this is through man. When we have platforms like this, what's the point of it if you're not going to give back and do some good? And I've been coming to Hogs to the Call since 2011 when I lived down here. This thing started out the first year. It was Becker and Renee barbecued on the fly, 8 people for their friend's son who had pediatric brain cancer, and they raised $900 on the fly on the Mississippi River. Wow. And now we're 15 years later, and it raised $2.7 million. And the top barbecue places in the country are here. I mean, I got people from Rhode Island. This team you're part of down here with Morton Anderson's Mullets. We got a home team from Charleston and Fox Brothers from Atlanta, Wright's Barbecue from Fayetteville that has an NIL deal with the Razorbacks.
It's incredible. Tell me, so Wright's Barbecue is actually the supplier for the Razorbacks stadiums, like the football and the basketball games. Like, they're the ones that provide the food for the games.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Well, and last year I captained the Barstool team. This is the definition of work smarter, not harder. I know what I'm good at. I can raise money. I can do social media. We got a bunch of just heavy-hitting barbecue guys. I don't know if you saw our menu. I'm going to try to make sure maybe we can do a food review before you leave. But no, it's just great, man. And it's my favorite event. It's been coming since 2011. When I got hired by Barstool, within 24 hours of that phone call with Dave, I was like, I'm going to because I just love what they're about, and I know you're about it too. And, there's nothing more noble than helping families fight child care. Nobody does do that. And the health thing, you obviously have dealt with it as a parent. the health thing, nobody ever worries about it until they don't have it. And then when you don't have it, it's all you worry about. And so, and then the way they do it, though, I mean, we got world-class music fest. We got an Allman Brothers Super Jam with JoJo Herman from Panics here tonight. We got a late night. We got a late night from 1 to 4 a.m. at Boar's Nest with Manny Fresh and Travis Porter. I mean, this thing is at St. Paul and the Broken Bones tomorrow. I mean, this thing is outrageous, and it's just I love being a part of it. I mean, honestly, I've said this: top 5 to 10 day of the year is the Hogs Friday.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
It's just fun. And everybody I've talked to today was like, yeah, but you got to be here for Saturday. Like,
I actually think the Hogs Friday gets super rowdy, and everybody does the 3 a.m., and then everybody's dying on Saturday.
Yeah.
But the thing is, maybe you're good luck, because it's never been Hogs without rain or mud, and I think we may have the first rain-free Hogs, to knock on wood, of all time.
Bro. Yeah, like, let's not jinx it just yet.
Yeah, that's true. But just thank you for being out here, though, Matt.
Pleasure,
I mean, I think they're so happy you're here, and with what your platform does, and Hogs building a Hogs house next to Our Lady of the Lake in Baton Rouge right now. They're expanding their Baton Rouge presence, and so I've kind of been pushing for this with Guarantee Media for a couple of years that we need to build this.
Yeah, man. Well, we're happy to be here this year. We'll certainly be back next year as well, and for as long as we're able. While we got a couple of minutes, I want to talk a little bit. What a weekend, as we talked about today for LSU. We're 20 minutes away from women's Final Four and first pitch of LSU-Tennessee Game 2. Let's start with LSU-Tennessee Game 2.
I slammed the under last night.
Did you?
Slammed it. It was 11.5 of that pitching matchup.
Oh, wow.
And it ended up 5-2, I believe.
5-2.
But, I mean, I just couldn't believe I get it because LSU's offense is so good. But, I mean, you had like 2 of the top 3 arms in the country going last night on a Thursday night. I just thought that under at 11.5 was like a joke.
The only way that it might have gotten there, Mintz, would have been if the bullpens fell apart after Dolander and Skenes were out of the game. But they were awesome. Look, one of your big things since you've been at Barstool has obviously been growing college baseball. You see a game like that last night. You got 13,000 people there in a huge – and I said this earlier. Like, you Google Paul Skenes today, everything from Baseball America to the Washington Post are all writing about Paul Skenes today. Like, what ways have you noticed – the game grow?
Well, I think the thing is it's getting bigger. That ESPN deal has helped a ton. And SEC Network's been smart. Obviously that was a Thursday night game.
Yes.
The Thursday through Saturday thing for TV has been very smart to get the marquee Thursday night games. I also think the gambling thing's just big.
Yeah.
Because, there's so many people you're going to watch every LSU game. I'm going to watch every Ole Miss game. But now you have a reason to watch all the other good games. And so I think it's getting people interested in just beyond their team. And I also just want to say, stock report. I mean, I remember I talked to you a couple months ago in the Guarantee Studio, and you're like, look, man, this LSU team, I mean, they're going to be like 50 wins. I'm like, yeah, I get they're talented, but is it really like that? And it is like that.
Yeah, that's like
it's like that. And Skenes is like a Mark Pryor Strasburg clone. I mean, it's one thing to throw 98, but he hits the knees at the exact corners. I mean, he's a major league #1 right now. You watch him just, everybody's got big arms, but nobody can locate it like him.
And it's 4 pitches since he started working in his curve.
The slider to lefties is a wipeout.
It's so not fair. It's so unfair when you're throwing an 87-mile-an-hour slider that moves 18 inches. What? Go, man.
And you got Dylan Cruz hitting 531. Man, I didn't know, even if you're just hitting every ball, and how do you get on base more than 40 or 50? I mean, what?
I said about Skenes, it's like when Danny Almonte was like 17 pitching against 12 years old. 12-year-olds like Skenes right now. And Dylan Cruz is playing a different game too. It's like the great players you see play, like dudes that are going to be first round that are playing against high school players.
Y'all pitching coach from the Twins is paying off big. Because Skenes was really good last, but you can just see his development.
Yes.
I don't know, man. It feels like the organic cycle of life. They had the Mississippi State title and the Ole Miss one. It feels like LSU's heading back to Omaha, and, that's what it feels like is coming here.
Well, we're going to break in a second. We'll wrap up the show. But I do want to thought, though, and, I mean, this isn't like kicking dirt in your face, but, like, the Mississippi schools, it's perplexing because, look, State, I don't know. I really don't know if Lamonas can survive this.
No, I don't either.
I mean,
they can't pitch. How can they? They're the worst pitching. They allow 15 runs every night.
Mincy, they're bad. Like, they're 0 for right now in the league. They're 0-7.
Yeah.
They're bad. I mean, they're the worst team in the SEC.
Yeah, they're really bad. The Ole Miss thing, we're 0-6, but Florida
is going to hit.
But Florida and Vandy are both awesome, and Ole Miss's top 3 arms are out. And look, I mean, you lost when you lose Elko and Bench and Kevin Graham. I mean, those guys were just leaders. I mean, we all learned panicking last year, a few lessons or two. So I just think we got everybody right where we want them.
Well, remember. Ole Miss last year started 1-8 in the league.
1-8, and I panicked,
Yeah.
and I still hear about it.
They caught fire at the right time, and that can happen in baseball. And I believe the Ole Miss offense is going to – like, they've got –
we got plenty of weapons. That Ethan Groff transfer from Tulane's unbelievable. He hit 404 at Tulane last year. He's amazing.
Yeah, but if Hunter – it sounds like talking to Kendall Rogers or something like Hunter Elliott's not coming back this year.
Man, I don't see why you would bring him back, you know? I mean, you got that forearm. Anytime you hear forearm tightness, you know it's bad. He already won a national title last year. Let him get ready for his last year's junior. I mean, it just is what it is. You got to be objective about the kid's career.
So, that's tough. I don't know with Ole Miss how that comes around. But right now, man, LSU in the West, it's going to be hard for anybody to unseat.
What's interesting, A&M, Ole Miss is in College Station. A&M's 1-5. Y'all took 2 out of 3, but then they got swept. They also played at Tennessee.
Yeah, huge series.
But it's a big one. I really like the over tonight, too. I'm not too impressed by Detmer, and I think for a Friday night matchup, it's probably not the biggest ace matchup there.
Yeah, no doubt. And South Carolina is the other one right now that
7-0.
At 7, and they got Mississippi State. I mean, Mississippi State's so bad. I think South Carolina is going to – it's at the dude, but I still think South Carolina's going to sweep that series. And if they do, they start the season 9-0. 7-0 is a record for South Carolina to start the season. Like, LSU is in Columbia next weekend. That's going to be a major series.
Yeah, oh, heck yeah. I mean, Columbia – They've been a dollar baseball school going Ray Tanner forever. They're one of the OGs with it, and their fan base loves it too.
Yeah, man. Mintzy's here. Let me knock out our final break of the show. We'll come back, put a button on it from here at Hogs. We'll talk final thoughts on LSU-Tennessee Game 2 tonight, and we'll also get to the LSU women's team, which tips off here.
Just the women's Final Four.
Just Final Four is going to happen here in about 15 minutes. All right. Stick around here. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by New Orleans Flooring. Get to NOLAflooring.com. Look, this weekend is an awesome time to get by New Orleans Flooring. 2 locations, not far from where we are right now. They've got their Metairie location, and then also they've got the location on Airline Highway in Prairieville. So going south on Airline in Prairieville, you pass the Walmart, look to your right, you can't miss it, blue sign, walk in, go say what's up to Terrell, go say what's up to Big Sean. Great dudes, and the best part about New Orleans Flooring, I tell you all the time, their people are awesome, but it's all about where the pros at New Orleans Flooring. The reason pros, all of your contractors go to New Orleans Flooring, when it's all about bottom line and margin, when you can save 30, 40% on flooring, you get it there because they have it in stock. It's New Orleans Flooring. You go to online at NOLAflooring.com. Again, NOLAflooring.com for New Orleans Flooring. Metairie, Airline Highway in Prairieville, and online at NOLAflooring.com.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on select new 2022 Ford F-150 trucks. $10,000 off plus 0% financing. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text TV to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's that time again. It's heating up. Your boat's getting ready to come out and spend all summer on the water. It's time to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service, where if you want an incredible custom speaker install, it's going to blow people away in the water, that's there for you. You want an HD sonar where you can see the fish under the water before you cast, beat all your friends, that's there for you at front-to-back boat service. So don't put it off. We got the parts in right now. Get him now before they go back on back order. Front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR, brought to you by Shaw Bill's Tire and Auto Service. If this weekend you are in need of any type of auto repair, Shaw Bill's can help you out. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com, 18 locations. You can find the location nearest you. They always have great deals over at Shaw Bill's. Tell you, man, they're going to sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. They're going to treat you like family, which will keep you coming back year after year after year. It's true for me and my family. It will be for you and your well. If you need to buy tires, don't go overpay somewhere else. Buy the best tires on the road for the cheapest price possible at Shaw Bill's. Shaw Bill's, where we keep you rolling. All right, wrapping up here from Hogs for the Cause. Been an awesome day. And look, it's at 5:50. The sun is peeking through now after a little bit of an overcast day, and it looks like it's going to be a gorgeous night right here on the lakefront, in the shadows of Lakefront Arena, which you can probably see off behind us. But crowds building, and it's going to be a great night, a great weekend, raising money for Hogs for the Cause.
$2.7 million last year. They're trying to beat. I don't know if they're going to beat it. It's a big number.
I was looking at the Hogs website, and by the way, if you donate, even if you can't come here, you can go to the website hogsforthecause.org, Hogs for FOR, hogsforthecause.org, and when you go to donate, you scroll down, you'll see Hogs for the Cause team names. Just hit the drop down, and you'll see Morton Anderson's mullets.
That's us.
So select Morton Anderson's mullets. You can make your donation.
Yeah, we actually have if you do $25 donation, Vespa raffle.
Awesome.
So I'm going to crowdsource $25 donations, straight the numbers. But, yeah, so somebody's getting a Vespa. So
that's the Vespa right behind us. If you're watching, you can see it. It's right behind us. So LSU against Virginia Tech, the women's basketball Final Four tips off.
It's so exciting, man. I mean, Kim Mulkey, queen of Louisiana. I mean, just like the thing that's so impressive, she makes the Final Four in the second year, and nobody even bats an eyelash. Like, that's how good she is.
It was just
anticipated. It's like, I mean, that's what everybody knew was going to happen when she got hired. And also, another thing's got to be mentioned real quick is the LSU NIL stuff. Look what they've done in women's basketball and baseball. They're playing chess when people are playing checkers.
Kim, the thing about Kim is she refuses to be second. And that's on the floor. That's in recruiting. That's in NIL. I think I told the story on air, the Guarantee is the flagship for LSU athletics, and so the women's games air on Talk 107.3 FM. Like, Kim's pushing to get the games on Eagle 98.1. Like, she wants to be on the big dog, right? Like, it's just and like those are decisions higher than my pay grade. Whatever, they'll do whatever. But my point is, like, every detail, she wants to be the best in everything. Like, that's the standard with everything with the program. So I think we all knew she'd get here. I don't know if we thought it'd be year two.
Yeah, year two, man. I mean, and like, they got a good chance in this game tonight. I feel pretty good. Virginia Tech's not like a traditional women's powerhouse at all. This is kind of uncharted territory. I feel like with Kim and, even though LSU hadn't been here in a while, I feel like they're going to be more mentally prepared than Virginia Tech in their huge spot.
Yeah, Liz Kitley is the center for Virginia Tech.
So battle with her and Reese.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Reese matches up. And Reese, got pushed around a little bit by Utah's big, and we'll see. Reese just a different style of player. She's not going to get down and bang in the post. So it's just stylistically different. This is It's uncharted territory for all these LSU players. So Kim's there, players haven't. We'll see. We thought here game 2 tonight. We're going to see Floyd for LSU. We're going to see Chase Burns for Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee's got that three-headed monster with Burns and Drew Beam, their Saturday or Sunday guy, and he's awesome. They've just struggled to hit the ball. They've been trying to tinker with their lineup. Yeah. And I'm just at a point right now where, man, you warn me about it, but, I can't go. I ain't going against this LSU team, especially at home with the atmosphere at the box and the way they're playing. And the pitching depth, and you said it was going to be there. You're like, look, they got the arms. They got the, I was like, well, that's the one thing I was concerned about. Well, you're right. They got elite midweekers. And, I don't know. This LSU thing's they're a machine.
Yeah.
And I know they hate Tennessee, too, going back to that super regional 2 years ago.
Jay and I had conversations before the season. It was just evident he knew what they had. He knew they had a loaded deck, and that's why I was confident when we talked. But the Tennessee thing is interesting because Tennessee is not a traditional power.
No.
They've kicked the anthill over these last 2 years, and it's gotten a lot of people's attention. So
they were the best last year. I thought they were the best heel teams in sports history. And I love that because the worst thing that happens to college baseball is when Stanford and Vandy win and nobody cares. When you got Tennessee and that talking base talking smack. I did a video and they got knocked out of the super regional and got like 700,000 views.
I remember.
Everybody needs a heel, and Tony Vitello is like the perfect heel, and I love it. It's just great. It's great for us in media. I can tell you that. Drives clicks.
This is be interesting these next 2 days. LSU's got to take one of the next 2 to win the series, and I know that I can predict a sweep for this weekend. Tennessee's too good. Their arms are too good, and at some point you assume a team that good and talented is going to break through and get one. But LSU should be able to split these next 2 and win this series and sets up a big week next week in South Carolina. Our final 30 seconds, Mintzy, man, we appreciate you so much for swinging by. Man, I know traffic was a bear, but
I just appreciate y'all coming out here because, like I said, I've been really hammering Gordy and Flynn that I want to build this Hogs thing. I just think it's such a, it's what Guarantee's about, giving back, and I know, it builds New Orleans, Baton Rouge. It's just an organic thing, and it makes sense for everybody.
They're going to heartbreak us right now. Thank you, bro.
All right.
AFR.
See ya. All right, as we get on down the road, let me remind you about Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com.
AFR.
29 offices across 11 different states. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. You can always get to Michelli.com. Joel McMullen and Michelli, their first office, or their headquarters, is not far from where we are. And, of course, it's their New Orleans office. They've been around for now 76 years. Our nation's largest distributor of scales. It's Michelli Weighing. You go to the airport, you push on the scale, you look right on the side, you'll see a Michelli sticker right there. They're an incredible company. It's Louisiana-born and creating Louisiana, expanding with 29 offices across 11 different states. The precision measurement calibration labs are incredible. You got that can't leave the office or the factory, whatever it may be, they'll come to you. Or you can always come pick up your items, bring it back, calibrate it, or wherever you are in the country. Learn more online at Michelli.com. It's Michelli.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off new 2022 Jeep Gladiators and $8,000 off new 23 Jeep Grand Cherokees. All new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.